Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the XL Energy Center. Welcome aboard. It's the second semifinal. The St. Thomas Academy Cadets and the Edina Hornets as they're going to face off. Matt Harrington's going to join me here to start the pregame show. And Matt, what more can we ask for in a matchup here? The Edina Hornets and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. I can tell you right now, these two teams can flat out skate.
They absolutely can, and you've got guys all over the ice for both teams that can do that. Liam Malmquist, of course, for the Hornets is one of the most notable of those players. But for the Cadets, we had a great game last night for Ryan O'Neill, who scored two out of the three Cadet goals. So you've got guys that can really play, and this should be a fun and exciting matchup. The 1 seed Edina Hornets and the 4th seeded St. Thomas Academy Cadets.
The Edina Hornets, you know, they find their way here by a impressive win yesterday.
Indeed.
Tough, hard-working win, 4-2. They needed an empty netter from Kevin Delaney to get them past Moorhead in their opening round matchup. And meanwhile, the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy, they were quite good too. Yeah,
they were very good. And that game against Duluth East was one of those that kind of went back and forth both ways, but the Cadets come out on top, and now they have a date with the top-seeded Edina Hornets here this evening.
On-air production meeting, John Sands is too tired to score, so will you do that for us, the live scoring?
I can try, yeah. Is Mully still here?
Mully's a fan. He's watching the game.
Oh,
this is the one
didn't
game
know that.
off he gets.
Gotcha.
Bart Archer finally decided to show up. Good to see. Bart Archer.
Yeah, I finally decided to participate.
No, it's good to have you here, buddy.
It's good to be here, Pete. Nah, it's just you walk up and down the press row and people stop you for conversation. So, Mandy, you want to get rid of the computer for me? Thank you, sir.
So, Bart, your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I don't think it's going to be easy for the Edina Hornets, nor is it going to be easy for the Cadets. But these are two very quality teams. I think, as you said, Pete, before in our podcast, this St. Thomas Academy can bring the physical part of the game, but I think Edina can match that. Both teams are very speedy. They play solid defense, and they both have pretty quality goaltending. So this promises to be a really entertaining game. But I think, again, I've said it every Edina broadcast that we've done, the first 5 minutes is very, very important. And Jet Jungles showed us that yesterday, scoring 53 seconds into the game. But if St. Thomas can weather the first 5 minutes, that's their first challenge. The next challenge is the next 5 minutes and from that point forward. But both teams are focused, ready to play. They know the situation. They're going to give us their best game tonight. But it all comes down, I think, to both goaltenders in how they play tonight. But I think a lot of the emphasis on Loudon Hogue for the Edina Hornets.
Well, a lot of the emphasis was on Loudon Hogue the other night. And, again, he has been really solid in his approach as far as the game the other night. And I have to tell you, Bart, it was, to me, I don't want to say it was a coming out party for him, but it was a game where I think there's a little bit of pressure on him, and he was expected to deliver, and deliver he did.
No, indeed. I think he's a confidence goaltender. And I asked you about Loudon Hogue, and you said it starts with the first shot, and he goes from there. But I think that he's getting plenty of support from his defensive core, which I think is one of the best in the state. But if Loudon Hogue can kind of play with some confidence, I think that bodes very, very well for Kurt Giles and his coaching staff.
For the Cadets, it's 2 nights in a row where they've had to play this game late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 9, you know. I mean, you're waiting around all day for this, and when you're in youth, you don't even start games this late. So it's a little ridiculous that we have all of this pomp and circumstance. I mean, I get that you have to do it, but I mean, this has got to be a better solution to me. I think they just start the games earlier. Well, I'd like to see them start at 10. Well, 10 a.m. You know, and then go 10 and 1:30 or 10 and 2.
Well, and I don't disagree with that.
5 and 8.
But if you slate it for 6 o'clock, I mean, we didn't get going until about 20 after 6. So
they do it all the time because of the television. They got to
Absolutely.
take care of the commercials. They got to have the talking heads up there to tell us what they know.
And that's part of the challenge that they have in front of them. But I don't think St. Thomas Academy minds or the Edina Hornets minds. But you do burn some nervous energy just waiting in anticipation for the game to come. You keep yourself busy and distracted as best you can. But a lot of times, what can happen is if you get that idle time, you think ahead of yourself and you start thinking about tomorrow night.
Burn a lot of energy.
Yeah, absolutely. But you start getting ahead of yourself and thinking about, what it's going to be like if we survive tonight and make it to tomorrow. So, yeah, the moment's in front of them right now. They have to answer the bell, but I don't think this game is too big for either team.
Loudon Hogue is 22-1 on the season with a 194 goals against average. It's pretty impressive.
And that's 20-2-1. Yeah, he's been impressive. And you look at the 1.94 goals against with a save percentage of .907. He does what the Edina Hornets need to do. It's not something that jumps off the page, but he just does his job and he does it well. Here we go.
We're underway as it's the Cadets in control, moving from left to right across your screen as they'll play this one into the Edina zone. Nevers, Jungles, and Shoemaker start up front for Edina. It's going to be off Jungles' stick as he's going to play this one to the right point, gets it back out of the corner. He's checked on the play, and here they come out of the zone with it with Carter Henry. He's stopped on the play by Jungles, and the big hit there. You know, those checks over the boards don't feel good on the limbs that catch the top of the dash.
Yeah, they're not meant to bend that way.
Turning on that play was Stucker. Now back off the corner, they go with it. Now McFadden was there and picked up by the Hornet defense and played ahead. That was Nevers, the center iceman, back in behind his own line, doing the job. Now up high they go with it. The Cadets in the offensive zone. That's gloved down by Reiners. He finds Nevers, who in turns feeds Jungles across the line. He works the escape. Ooh, a nice little pass that's feathered to the oncoming Chorsky. Kind of reminds me of a young version of Bobby Smith.
Oh, there you go.
The big frame. He's got the hands and the mitts to go along with it. Very creative. Now it's going to be handled and sent back up ice by O'Neill. He can snipe. Don't let him shoot. And Forlick, he wouldn't even let him dump it in as he got the stick on that one and forces it up out of play. Well,
there are a couple players on the St. Thomas Cadet squad that focus players, and we're talking about Rob Christie, 19 goals on the year. Ryan O'Neill, who just possessed the puck going against Forlicky, Brendan McFadden, and Luke Herzog. So they have some offensive players that can finish plays. So obviously focus players for Edina to defend against.
These two teams met back on December 28th in the Hockey for Life tournament and won by a score Edina did of 6-2.
Well, it was a Jet Jungle show. He had 4 goals and a natural hat trick to round that one out. Nevers with 4 assists, and Malmquist 1-3-4 was his line. But Loudon Hogue, .933 save percentage. If he can mimic that tonight, it puts Edina in pretty good shape.
Yeah, play strong and play lean and mean for his club. That's what they're going to need out of him for sure. And in that area when Edina played, they had the loss to Chaska that was in there as well. They've only lost 2 games. Hill Murray 3-2 on the back end of Holman Holmes. They've only had 2 blemishes, and they kind of flew under the radar. Cadets control up high at the point. They're going to walk high to the slot. Nice protection of the puck and a quick shot in on goal. Will Shimmick with the bid.
Well, Shimmick did a nice job of managing his way because the Edina forwards were all over him, but he managed to get a good shot from the top of the left dot, but it was right in Loudon Hogue's crest, so he held on to that and area rebound. But it's good to get that first shot out of the way, and you can't see it obviously because it's radio, but
oh yeah, they can. It's turned down and turned up, buddy. That's about all.
Fair enough. But Muzzy Donahue over there working his angles. Not a lot of activity so far early in this game, but he's working his angles, trying to keep himself sharp.
Shimmick with a nice move too, Bart, up
absolutely
high. Made a little stutter step there and was able to fire that one in on goal.
And if they can activate their defensemen like that, they're going to be very difficult to defend for the Edina Hornets.
Reiner's outlets to Rugemer, who muscles that one in behind the net. Muzzy Donahue will play this around the wall. That's going to be Brower with it. Turns it over. That's stuck off the stick and off the netting of Donahue.
Well, I really like that shot by Reiners on that one. He just took not a big slap shot. He didn't have time to do it because the St. Thomas forward was closing, but took a good wrist shot, ramped up and out of play. But Edina very aggressive on the forecheck, sending 2 men on the puck, but the puck came around. Good putback by Reiners on that one. Face off to Donahue's left.
Back behind the net, rung around the wall by Henry. And here come the Cadets, the outlet on the right wing. That's for Jared Wright, plays this behind the net, cut off by Hogue. Tough one to handle, it's in off the dasher. Hornets will try to kick this one free up the rail, and they do. It's going to be handled out of the corner by Brower to the slot area. Edina, that one too far for Colby, and that's just offside at the line.
Oh boy, that's
not by much.
No, it snuck out, but Ed tried to keep that puck in. But Edina, again, St. Thomas, 2 men on the puck, put some pressure on Reiners. The puck squirted free. But St. Thomas just couldn't hold the zone, so face off outside the zone. I like the way that St. Thomas has shown up today. A lot of play down in the Edina zone right now, bottling this Hornet team up. They like to establish their rhythm early, but St. Thomas is having something to say about that. So good start for the Vanellis in St. Thomas Academy.
You know, the one thing the Cadets bring is tempo and and pace. They can bring some skill along with that, which is going to put some pressure on the Hornets here in this one.
No, absolutely. But the Hornets are a team that can keep pace with virtually any team. And that's what Minnetonka always liked to do. They'd set a very torrid pace, and it was up to you to kind of keep up with them. I think this Edina Hornet team can certainly skate with St. Thomas. But now it's an offensive zone faceoff for the Hornets to Donahue's left. 14-17 left in the first period. Shots on goal, 1 apiece.
Nevers in to take the draw against Rob Christie. 39 points for Christie, and Nevers has had himself a terrific year with 53 points. Off the glass it goes. Mr. Hockey finalist, a couple of them here on the Hornets. Off the boards it goes. Turned away. At the line, Williams thought he kept, but no, offside it goes. 14:01 now to go here in the period.
Well, Williams back. He put a good effort in to keep that puck in the zone. Edina would have had numbers moving forward, so a bit of a break for the Cadets. Face off, as you said, outside the zone. But you can feel the intensity. I mean, it's about 3/4. Well, I'd probably say a little bit more like 5-6 full. But they came to root. So great vibe in the building tonight.
Well, whenever you play against the Cadets, they've got the rowdiest. This is a good group though. Back door they go. There's a shot, save, rebound. Oh, that one's pushed wide of the mark. Back up to the line. Williams, wrister. Kind of reminds me when you look in the section right back behind Donahue. There's the Cadets in their uniforms. It looks like we're at an Army-Navy game. It kind of reminds you of that, doesn't it?
Well, it does. They got their dress blues on, looking very sharp, very dapper. But Edina with some good pressure. Actually, they're moving the puck toward Donahue, forcing them to make some saves. And it was Jungles down low that actually almost tried to put one in 5-hole on that one. Donahue made the save, and then he tried to extend the play, find some space. But Donahue and then his support came in, kept the puck out of the net. But kind of a trying moment. 4 shots on goal for Edina, so that was a 3-shot sequence for the Hornets.
Tonight's coverage presented in part by RJM Construction. For all of your arena needs, building and remodeling, check out their work at the Tria Rink, the Hopkins Pavilion, and the Rock in St. Louis Park. Also presented by the Sportsman's Guide South St. Paul. Up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Pond event, Saturday, March 10th. That's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. Also presented by Brew Pub and Lots of Matza Pizza. Half-pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese available at your local grocer. Don't forget about Tradition Company, 7 companies in one. Your solution for all your home building, buying, mortgage, banking, and wealth management needs. That's traditionco.com. And also presented by Larry Grace and Optimal Optimal Goalie. Say that 5 times fast. Does a great job. Off-ice training, turns goalies into thinking goaltenders who get a little more athletic with some off-ice training as well.
And he works with the goalie coaches too in harmony. So good deal. But that Lots of Matza Pizza. I should eat my dinner before I come here, Pete. Every time you say that, it's like squirrel to a dog. I get distracted.
Yeah, you get all happy.
Yeah, me and Pharrell. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah. Nice. We haven't heard that song yet this weekend from the bands. It's coming.
Actually, we did. That's what brought it to mind.
Shoot. I must have been down.
They take suggestions.
Down the hall. Henry with it to the line. Now it's Boltman, a slapper that's deflected wide and back behind the net. Chorsky is there. Works this away from Wingus. Now it's back behind the net. Outlet for O'Neill. Finds his man. That's Herzog. Bumps that off the boards. O'Neill and Herzog very dynamic for this Cadet edition. Chorsky gathers in at the center red. Plays this one in. Off the glass. Back up in the center ice area it goes. Boltman was there. Now it's Delaney. Oops, leaves that one wide of the mark on the line rather. Chorsky catches it and throws it in as the Hornets change on the fly. As the Cadets look to break back out, the Hornets will trap the neutral zone as they change. Glove down at the line. That one's good. Across they go. Blocker pad saved by Donahue. Shot number 5 for Edina. Now they're mounting 5-1 here in the early going. Boltman. Hard pass to the right wing side. Nice job by him to gather in as he hit Rugemer, but they're going to take it away with Christie. Turns this one up ice. Gets through one pair of legs, but there's support for the Hornets across the line. Vorlicki loads it up. They went down to block the shot that altered his shooting angle, and he lost the handle. Now they look to spring Vega to the left wing side off the boards to the left circle. Over comes Williams to block him. He's been terrific the final half of this season. Down low they go. That's poked away, and now it's going to be Vorlicki with it. Turns this one back up ice. Mike Vorlicki, the Badgers digging him across the right wing side. Oh, he's chopped down on the play there by Shimmick. And Vorlicki draws the penalty. The Hornets go on the power play.
Well, and Vorlicki went into the boards pretty hard, getting up a little bit slow, kind of face first, so he took the full impact on that. He looks no worse for the wear, but as you said, it's going to be Will Shimmick that's going to go to the box. Took his feet out from under him, but that's what happens when Vorlicki was moving his feet, went forward. He thought he was going to headman it to Rugemer, but he opted for the line change, so Vorlicki lumbered the puck up the ice, but skates got taken out, so Edina on the power play. They've been unsuccessful so far in the state tournament, hovering around the 33% mark, so that's a big number for the Hornets. Penalty kill about 86% for St. Thomas, so two pretty quality special teams.
St. Thomas can kill them off. They've got good structure in their defensive zone. Edina so far in the state tournament, Bart, as you mentioned, scoreless with the man advantage. The Eagles of Eden Prairie showed what it's like to have a lethal power play, 4 of 6. They win 4-2. From the corner, it's played back in along. Christie finds an opening and sends that one in behind as it's going to be set up by Hope. Hornets in transition out of the zone with Williams to the right wing side through center. Nevers lost the handle, but there to support along the way was Chorsky. Played back to the corner, Malmquist, Chorsky. Back up high to the left point. Nevers swings that over to Jungles. Williams back to Jungles. Walks, loads up, shoots. That's blocked. Ouch. Nice job there. Good play by Wingus.
He still feels it,
back
too.
Back up to the line goes Williams. It's going to buzz for a while. Sting, Williams. Slapper deflected. Jumping was Malmquist. Couldn't quite get the full tip on that one. And now it's going to be played back to the right wing side as they're going to shovel the backhand high in the air. Glove down by Williams across the center red line. Doesn't like what he has, turns away from traffic, guides it back over to the left wing side for Nevers. Mason Nevers now across the line, gets away from one man, stays on the puck to the corner. Stick on him by Bodette, nice play. As Nevers tries to play it behind the hard ring, does it make it? Jungles neatly cuts that off. He came out of nowhere, reached and made the play. Oh, nice play by Malmquist. Jungles looks in front, that one tipped away, and here come the Cadets off the break there and send that one in deep. On the play, that was Vega. Now it's going to be handled out of the zone by Edina's Jake Boltman finds Jet Jungles now across the line. Jungles loads it up, shoots. Ooh, handcuffs Donahue. The return shot there, hard and on goal. That one taken, I believe, by Malmquist. That was Donahue to come up with a big save. We're even now at 5-on-5.
Well, that was 2 big saves. First one was on Jungles, a hard one to handle, but then it squirted out to Malmquist. So a nice putback by Malmquist, but better side to side by Muzzy. Donahue closed that opening on that one. But boy, 9:53 to go. We're scoreless.
This is Tim Layton, Communications Director of the Minnesota State High School League and a 1982 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league.
We are thrilled to be opening Minnesota's first
Minnesota State High School League presents great state tournaments here as we once again are bringing all the action to you. Turn them down, turn us up. That's what we've been hearing, and that's what we've been doing for years here, Bart Archer.
Well, indeed, we appreciate the loyalty of our viewers and the kind things that they say about it, but it's our pleasure to be here to provide this service for you. Shots on goal 7-1 Edina. They got a couple pretty good looks at the goal, but I thought overall it was a pretty good penalty kill by St. Thomas. They won the race to the loose pucks and sent them down the ice and burned some time, but stay out of the box against this Edina Hornet squad. But when they were challenged, it was Muzzy Donahue that came up and made a couple pretty good saves. But just under 10 minutes to go, so they survived the first 7 minutes as far as St. Thomas Academy, and that bodes well for the Vanellis in St. Thomas moving forward. But I'm sure that the power play gave Edina a little bit of energy moving forward, a residual energy that they're going to continue as they have an offensive zone face-off to Donahue's left. And it looks like it's going to be the Morton line against Herzog in the face-off dot. The energy line for Edina.
Wait for the draw, we get it. And it's going to be rung hard off the boards. Edina with that 7-1 shot on goal advantage. Just about 7 minutes into this one.
Wow, that clearing attempt by Shimmick. He went straight up like a lob wedge. It went probably about 40 feet in the air, and everybody on the St. Thomas bench kind of covered their heads because they didn't know where the puck was. It was mildly amusing. Nobody got hurt, so that's the important part. They're going to recreate the face-off to Donahue's left.
Clean win there by Morton. Back to the line it goes. Edina buzzes that one right from the right point. That was Vorlicki. He and Williams working the defensive pairing for the Edina Hornets here. That one's going to be in offside for St. Thomas Academy.
Well, Peter, you talked about Nick Williams, the sophomore defenseman. We kind of keep focusing on the Vorlickis and the Reiners and the Boltmans, but as you said, he's gotten better as this year is going on, and he's stepped up to the blue line, so he's playing with confidence as well. But the Edina defenseman can do that because Edina plays two directions, so the forwards come back, and it was Colby that came back to help out. But if Edina can keep stepping up the blue line, it's going to make that offensive zone pretty hard to navigate for St. Thomas.
Damer guides that one rink wide as Shimmick turns away from the oncoming Edina checker. Off the glass it goes, glove down by Williams, took it off the midsection, down to the knees he goes. Winner of this one gets Eden Prairie tomorrow. The loser will take on Blaine in the third place game, in the cavernous third place game. It's kind of a tough one to play there.
Yeah.
But they, you know what, the most teams bring it. They want the hardware.
Well, they got some pride. They wouldn't be in this situation if they didn't have pride in their squad.
You got a chance to win your last game of the year together for the seniors, you do it.
Yep.
Turned out of the corner, bumped to the wall. That was Nevers to Williams. Deflected. Kavanaugh was there. Now it's going to be Jungles. Kavanaugh's shot. Rebounds loose. Now it's Williams down low. The scramble ensues. The crowd gets all revved up over that one. They couldn't even get the shot off. Jungles was there as he is brought down on a nice play by Wingus. The energy levels in here is awesome. I love the Cadets, man. They bring an extra hot vibe here to this facility.
Well, Donahue lost his stick and it almost went to the blue line, so he had to go retrieve it once the play got down in the Edina zone.
Didn't he go for the skate?
He had to go for the skate. Wasn't any choice.
Here they go, back up ice. Turning to the right side is Christie. His shot was blocked, didn't get through. Help along the way for McFadden as he's checked on the play. Christie now wins the battle, plays it back into the corner for Stucker. Reiners gets into him. Now they come over to help out. McFadden comes in. Now Nevers peels it out of the scrum. Left wing side it goes for Jungles. Big check thrown there off the left wing wall as Jungles can skate as he races up. Tries to go inside out. Works the pirouette, try to draw the penalty. Instead, it's up to the line. Reiners comes away with it, sends a shot through that's deflected. Now it's going to be Shoemaker that's there. Nevers watches this one as it rings up to the boards. Boltman pitches in, gets it away from McFadden. Down they go. Oh, they got Jungles in front. Oh, that's his office and a blocker pad save. Big one there by Donahue.
Absolutely.
Now it's Malmquist, fakes the shot, lets the wrister go. That's blocked in front. That off Bodette as he's going to turn it up ice for the Cadets. Rings that one around the boards, back in behind. It's going to be Johnson with it. Finds Boltman. Boltman off the boards for Delaney. Ooh, rink wide, nice exit. Cross the line, it's Malmquist, cuts down low. He had Chorsky with the stick down, but he was checked neatly there. No shot on goal. Now it's gathered out of the left wing corner by Malmquist. Look back up to the line for Gunnar Johnson, nothing there. Malmquist looks to win the battle, but instead they have to go back to the right D with Reiners. Gets to his own line, deflected in by Delaney. Doesn't get deep. That might have hit the linesman on the way through. Hornets across the line now. Chorsky had it. Guides it back down low. Gets it back. Loads it up. Shoots. Chorsky scores! Oh, he says hello. How you doing? To the Cadets fans. That's kind of his calling card, his trademark.
I was just going to say that's goal number 13 for Chorsky. But he seems to find the student section of the opposing team after he scores and just goes over and says, how you doing? But it was a nice pass by Malmquist. Put it on to Chorsky as he gained the zone high in the slot, took the initial shot. The puck squirted out to the left, and Donahue was exposed, and he just put it in at a shallow angle. But it was Chorsky with the 13th from Malmquist, so Edina gets first blood on this one. Shots on goal 13-1. Edina has the advantage, so Donahue's done what he can to keep his team in this game. They're only one good shot down, but
four things he does there, Bart Archer.
Puts
his stick. Four things he does. Puts his stick down, makes a good target, gets a shot on goal, doesn't fly by, follows it up, keeps going, and then buries it, and then Works the consistent selling. Just goes right to the opposing team's fans and says hello.
Yeah, he does a lot of things well. If you don't watch him play, you don't fully appreciate what he brings to this Hornet team. But he's fun to watch, and I think playing with Malmquist and Delaney is really a benefit for all those players. They each make each other better, but they play as a unit, and they play two directions too, which I think is very important.
Well, Brett Chorsky's getting to do something his father never did.
Oh, he never got to play in state tournament?
Yep.
Wow.
How do you like that?
What a player his dad was, too.
Tom's a good friend. I just threw that out there just to give him a little bit of a rib.
Yeah, way to go.
Laid down there. I think it was the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles at the time that were the problem for the Southwest, I think then Indians, now Lakers.
Yeah, they were Kennedy was quite good back in that day.
Bumped off the boards. Hornets will play this one through, and on goal it's Donahue, stick down, as he's going to try and play this one. Now keep in mind, Blaine scored the game's first 2 goals in the last game and ended up falling 4-2. There's a little bit of a difference here, though, Bart Archer.
No, you are correct, but I think it was Blaine that actually went into the first intermission with a 2-goal lead, but it was Lee Smith and his coaching staff really kind of grounded his team, got him refocused, and the benefit of a couple man advantages didn't hurt the Eden Prairie Eagles, but you get an opportunity like that in this venue, you need to take advantage of it.
Difference there was Eden Prairie outshot them massively in the first period, had the puck the whole period.
Yeah,
Just couldn't score.
Shots were 14-4 after that.
And right
period.
now it's 14-1 Edina, and the difference was that Blaine walked out with the 2-0 lead. Right now Edina has the 1-0 lead, so there's a little bit of a difference. But if you're St. Thomas Academy, you've just got to take a little bit of time here on these TV timeouts. I think the Edina defense here so far have just been too much to handle. You can't beat them.
Well, and it's not just
in this game, let's say, right now from what I'm seeing.
Absolutely. Well, it's not just the defensive core, but it's the offensive players coming
unit,
back to mind the defensive responsibilities. They play as a unit. They play as a 5-man unit, and that makes them even more difficult to try to have success against. But St. Thomas certainly has the wherewithal to do it. They're having trouble getting out of their zone, but Edina's doing a good job of just keeping the puck down in the zone and working it to the areas. But Muzzy Donahue's come up big 13 times out of the 14 saves, but his team just has to get out of the zone with some speed through the neutral. Not an easy thing to do against these Hornets.
They're working the fans back and forth. It's my favorite part. I don't know why, but I love it.
Well, it adds to the vibe. I mean, it gets everybody involved. Oh, my word, look at that guy.
That guy's
face paint. He's got the helmet on.
He's the only guy not in the formals.
He just wants to stand out.
Got a couple Jason masks in the Edina crowd. Oh, man. So good. Face-off win. The Hornets missed the mark. Now it's going to be Williams from the left side. Picked up by Jackson Borst. Now Vorlicki comes away with it. Plays back over for Williams. Angles a pass that's deflected. Borst comes away. Slings that one back over to the left corner. Foot race is there. It's going to be picked up by the Hornets' Mark Overman. There's a shallow angle shot that misses the mark off the glass. 5-on-5 feels like a power play here for the Hornets with the 4th line. Send this one in. How about that? Coming off the TV timeout. Kurt Giles and Dave Terwilliger and Greg Oslickson say, hey, let's go with the 4th line here, boys.
Get them invested.
Heck of a shift by that group. Icing the call as the Hornets were changing. Well, missed on the dump in there.
That's kind of the nice benefit of having that kind of depth, because they really don't lose much. But I really like the Colby line as well with Morton and Rugemer. They bring energy, they bring physicality. But the Kavanaugh line with Jackson Borst, they can skate.
And create chances.
Absolutely. A wealth of riches.
Borst, while it was a scrimmage in the early part of the season, scored 5 in their 9-5 win over Minnetonka. The Skippers play a lot of guys that were vying for positions. Edina was rolling their top-end group, but Borst has the ability to put the biscuit in the basket as well.
We're going to say his name quite a bit in the near future. We'll say that. He's got some skill.
Cadets were working a 1-2-2 trap. The Hornets decided to sit on that one behind the net, and the Hornets never did really break through the neutral zone. And you know what? They made that adjustment quickly, did the Cadets, and let's see if they continue that as the Hornets struggle to get through.
Well, now the faceoff is going to be outside the St. Thomas Academy zone. 4:31 left in this first period. Edina up by 1.
Chorsky. Now it's going to be Boltman with it. At the line. Bishop plays this one rink wide. Back in behind the net, cut off by Donahue. He'll ring the boards. That's going to be off the skates of Herzog. Tries to get the zone, he can't. Now back in behind Bodette's there. Delaney bothers him. They try to take the wing away to one side. Instead, they go back to the right side for Bodette, who plays that one through center. It's going to be Boltman with it. That's off a stick. Delaney took that from Chorsky. Now Delaney finds an opening and sends that one in rink wide, back in behind the net. Malmquist pinned up by the wall by Henry. Now Malmquist lays that one up to the line. There's a shot that was deflected that didn't get through. Morton with a shot from the high slot, missed the mark. I'll play this to the line. That's a shot played back down. And here come the Cadets. Flip this one up through center. Bounding puck to the line. Now it's O'Neill with it. Rugemer plays the body there. Vega, they try to pin this one up the boards, but walked down by Christie to the slot area. 14-1 your shot still in favor of Edina with 3:17 to go, and they have the 1-0 lead on the scoreboard. Played up to the left wing side. That one's going to be, Morton nearly off to the races. Here comes Colby. Morton was there. Rugemer looks to step into that one. Spun off the puck as it's played back in behind the net. Now it's Shimmick. He'll walk his way out of the net, out of the end. Shimmick plays it to the right wing side. Now it's going to be Williams with it. Williams plays that D to D. Ahead it goes to Malmquist. Now here comes Nevers. Nevers is going to cut against the defense there. Looks in front to Malmquist. Nice play to open up and get that shot in on goal as Donahue makes the save as Malmquist comes together. Extra shot for Bamer. Let's see if there's a penalty.
Well, you want to kind of control your emotions, but it was a good sequence by the Edina Hornets getting the puck to the net, but it was a nice save by Donahue on that one. And it was Nevers that actually gained the zone and put it out to Malmquist. He turned and fired, put a good shot short side on Donahue, but it was under his pad. You play to the whistle, and that's what Malmquist did. But St. Thomas Academy defenders took a little exception to it, but no harm, no foul. We play on.
2:40 to go in the first period. The Cadets play this one to center ice. They nearly had a man on the move there in Hallam. But here comes Malmquist with Jungle. Scores! Malmquist snaps it, posted in. Looked it all the way down, and guess what? Number 7 buries again for the Hornets, Bart. He is getting close to a magical number on the goal-scoring column.
Well, indeed he is. It's 28 now for Malmquist, but it was really a nice job of transition by the Edina Hornets. They cut the play off at the red line, and it was Malmquist and Jungles that were at the offensive blue line, and he just feathered a pass to Malmquist. He used Jungles as a decoy, kind of looked him off. Goaltender got his attention, and then just went blocker side under the bar. That's an absolute snipe on that one, but it's number 28 for Liam Malmquist. Edina with a 2-0 lead, 2:29 left to go in the period. Shot 16-1. Edina over the Cadets. Cadets still have plenty of time to make some noise and finish this period with some good feelings. But now it's all Edina.
What do you do when you're the goalie?
You can't do anything.
I mean, you've got 57 goals bearing down on you on a 2-on-0.
Absolutely. But he did everything he could. He made himself big, went down, took away the high percentage shots. But with Malmquist, he doesn't need a lot of space to make hay, and that's exactly what he did. But 28's a big number, and he's looking to grow on that one too.
Boltman plays that off the boards, back in behind Donahue. You better hurry because the Hornets forecheck hard with Colby. Kavanaugh comes away with it. They're going to play this one up the right wing side. Now it's the Cadets. Well, this Hornet team looks really steady here. They're going to be tough to beat this weekend. Off the side of the net it goes. Colby plays that one ahead. Chorsky nearly played that one off to the races, but nice job to keep it alive by Shimmick. Now it's going to be Liners with it. He's bothered on the play. Colby bumps the boards as it trickles back into the Cadet zone as they're going to turn this one up ice with Bamer. That's deflected off the stick of O'Neill. And now it's Jungles. He gets away from one man. Is he quick? Scores! Another bar down. Straight sniz. Oh, my word. 3-0 Edina.
Boy, that was just sick, too. But put it on Jungles sick. He went in all alone and just went, this time, glove side just under the bar. So, boy, I'd go talk to Muzzy Donahue if you can and just make sure he's in a good frame of mind. There's nothing that he could have done with those shots that he didn't try to do, but now Edina with a 3-0 lead, 132, and I don't think they're done yet, so St. Thomas Academy's got to get some semblance of forward push and get some pressure on Loudon Hogue, goaltender for Edina. He's only faced one shot, so I wonder if he's a little bit cold, but boy, another snipe just under the bar. Well, that's high cheese right there.
Jungles is so quick and has such good hands. He just creates space with his feet like nobody.
When he's got confidence, too.
But 2 goals in the exact same spot of the net. He reeled him in. Oh, my God.
Well, that was a little subtle celebration.
I got to say, that's
anyway.
pretty good.
That's not too bad.
That's pretty rare. I've never seen it. Have you?
No.
Off the boards, Malmquist ahead it goes. Stucker takes over. 1:15 to go. Edina with a commanding 3-0 lead here in the first period. Malmquist plays that down to his stick with his glove. Walks across the line. Looks for Jungles. And now it's McFadden. Cadets seem absolutely shell-shocked right now.
They do.
I mean, it's just like, what do we do?
They need something positive to happen, whether it be a big hit, a good shot on goal, or even a tally, but they need something to change right now.
Hogue cuts it off behind the net. They're out shooting the Cadets 17-1, and they lead 3-0. Rink wide it goes. Vorlicki now. From center plays that in. Oh, they say icing. Wow, they were right on that one.
Well, indeed they were, and I think it was a challenge by Herzog on that one. Vorlicki.
He stepped up.
Yeah, well, that's what you needed to do, and Vorlicki just thought he could get away with it, but faceoff's going to come down to the Edina zone to Loudon Hogue's right. Not a lot of activity down. The ice sheet looks pretty clean down there, but what a great opportunity it is for St. Thomas to chip away. 31.7 left in the period.
Morton with the draw. They quickly feed it over to the left wing side. That's Colby across the line, sending it in deep behind Donahue. His clearing attempt was cut off by Rugemer. Now it's going to be handled by Herzog. Back in behind the net. Shimmick looks up the right wing side, chips that off the boards, and it's going to be dribbled back into the neutral zone as Rugemer plays that back in with 9 seconds to go in the period. They'll just let this one wear down. The Hornets will take a 1-2-2-4 check. And the Cadets will say, let's regroup. We're down 3-0. We've been hammered here. Outshot 17-1. The Edina Hornets, right now,
they're buzzing.
Looking good.
Well, when you have Coach Vanelli, both Tom and Greg Vanelli, they're going to regroup. They're going to get their kids focused, and they're going to come out with some serious energy. There has to be a pushback. This St. Thomas team is too good not to be relevant in this game, but Edina not making it easy on them. It's going to be an interesting second period, but Edina's on a roll.
They are. The score reads Edina 3, St. Thomas Academy nothing. We're going to hear now from Larry Grace Jr. and optimal goaltending, or optimal goalie. Well, before we do that, I got to get the actual video on here because my guy Matt Harrington didn't get the video on there.
He's still bitter about Eden Prairie.
Yeah, he's yeah. It's just really.
We'll get there, Pete Wagner.
My word. See if we can try it again. Yeah, Bart, you know, I mean, it's again one of those things where you take a look at what's just going on here and you say, holy smokes.
Well, we knew Edina was going to come out, but I felt pretty encouraged for the Cadets when they weathered the first 5 to 7 minutes, and then once Edina got that first taste of a goal, then they started to swarm a little bit. But they got beat by Chorsky with 13, Malmquist with 28, Jungles with 31. So these are guys that are used to the scoring areas, and they're good at finishing plays, and that's exactly what they did. But it could be 5-6 to nothing if it wasn't for Muzzy Donahue in goal. That's how good the Hornets were.
Indeed it was. So looking ahead to tomorrow, Bart, we've got some really good stuff to look forward to. It's going to be a championship game that's going to be for the ages at St. Cloud Cathedral. I mean, and you've heard the emotional things that are going on with that. I mean, we're talking about, a group of players that say, they're not just playing for their area, they're playing for their section.
Well, indeed they are, and what a great story it is. Obviously, scoring a tying goal in the waning moments of the game and then winning it early in overtime. But boy, you can just feel the excitement, and I think they're one of the crowd favorites. I think everybody's kind of rallying around them, but Cathedral's a good squad going against Greenway tomorrow. That promises to be lights out. That'll be fun.
Well, no doubt. People love the story, too. Everybody likes the Cinderella story. Of course, they take their best of Caddyshack. Everybody likes that Cinderella story, and but they're good. I mean, they are the epitome of the Sandlot park hockey kind of group there.
Well, and they showed a lot of character when they were under a period of duress, they needed to get a goal. Who comes up at the big boppers on these teams, and they put them into that position to win it in overtime. But I think it's pretty cool that it was 24 seconds into overtime right now as it stands. But just a big day of hockey so far.
We're going to keep it here, Bart Archer, as we'll continue discussing this hockey game with the Zambonis on the ice and 12 and a half minutes to go. Matt Harrington is on his way. We need you to come up. So you send a guy down, you say, come up, and then he says, what do you need?
Well, that's because I asked him to come up, and I'm not his boss.
I sent Patrick down to go get him.
I know.
So then Eden Prairie, we talked about them a little bit, and, they've been really good. 5 of their 9 losses, 3 against Edina, 2 against Minnetonka. I think you can throw it out, no question.
Well, Pete, what I ventured to say is Eden Prairie is finally realizing the potential that everybody else saw in that squad, and it really comes down to coaching and the kids buying into the system. Lee Smith is no stranger to this state tournament. He's been here. He's had great success in the tournament, 2009, 2011. 11 was a very memorable state tournament, but now the kids are believing in themselves. They're breeding confidence. They're supporting each other. They're playing the game the way that they're supposed to play. But this is the Eden Prairie Eagles squad that we envisioned when we first started covering them through the year, because we saw the potential on this team. But it's just nice to see these young kids realizing that potential, and they get an opportunity to win a state tournament tomorrow night, which is ultimately the goal going in. But there's only 2 teams that can survive the regular season section playoffs in the first 2 games of the state tournament to earn that Saturday night game, and the Eden Prairie Eagles are certainly worthy and deserving of being there. Lee Smith and the coaching staff has done a wonderful job with that squad, getting them ready when it's time. When the rubber hits the road, they were ready to go.
And then, we talk a lot about all the things that have been going on around this state tournament. Obviously there was that discussion with Doug McLeod, and, the things that happened with him not getting his time, Bart Archer actually being asked to leave. And, it's kind of one of those bummers. I think if he could go back and do it again, he wouldn't have that situation be presented to himself at all. I'm sure he feels terrible about it.
Well,
what do you do?
Well, Pete, I think me and you echo these sentiments. You just don't want his legacy to be remembered like that. It's kind of the Marty McSorley factor, where McSorley was great for about 15, 20 years, but then all of a sudden he gets a stick up in the face, knocks somebody out, and that's what he's remembered for. I sincerely hope that doesn't happen to Doug McLeod. He's been a contributor and enthusiast and a promoter of the game of hockey. So just one statement. Obviously, it wasn't a great statement, so to speak, but let's just forgive him and move on and learn a little lesson from it. But we get put in a position. Thank you, Patrick. We get put in a position where you're called upon to say certain things, and sometimes you don't say the appropriate things. And I've known that I've been known to say some things not quite that racy, but we're walking a fine line here when we put a microphone in front of our mouths.
Yeah, every time you open it, there's a chance you could make a mistake. There's a chance you can make a mistake and it might be held against you. And when it comes down to it, things change along the way. It's not what it was 20, 30 years ago. He might have gotten away with it, but it's not how it is now. So
there's a sensitivity factor that's been kind of amped up a little bit, but I don't think there was any negative intent from him. He was trying to make a bit of an off-the-cuff joke. I just hope, as we said, that his legacy isn't defined by that one particular statement in 30 years over his broadcast career.
Certainly me either, as the Hornets and the Cadets are between periods here. Edina leads by a score of 3-0. And we're in the final game of the day, the 4th semifinal. The first 2 were handled in the Class A, and that was a 5-2 win for St. Cloud Cathedral as they advance to the state final of the Class A. And they're going to be taking on a really, really rock-solid Greenway team that seems to do all of the things right, all the little things. They go to the net, they do what they have to, they battle, they compete, they get the job done.
Well, and I think kind of an interesting mix, and I'm not saying this at the expense of the Hawks, but there's a different flavor now. Hermantown was always kind of a staple in this tournament representing that section, and now we got some new blood in that's had some success. And I think, the general public in Minnesota and perhaps even beyond the boundaries of Minnesota are kind of inheriting them as their one of their favorite sweetheart darling teams. But the Cinderella story continues, but they have have some work to do to get to the final prize, so to speak, because Cathedral is not a team that's going to let them have their way without some contest. But it really promises to be a terrific championship game in Class A.
You know, when you look at this state tournament and all the things that have happened here, it's just quite amazing. Every year there always seems to be something new that seems to blow us away, and we can't predict it. And you know, this year everybody's kind of latching onto the Greenway story, which is unbelievable. And then now you move the needle ahead here to the Class AA, and you know what? You might end up having another matchup with the Lake Conference Final. We've seen Minnetonka and Edina go after it a few times. I think we've seen, was it Tonka or EP and Wayzata? There have been quite a few over the years, so that's another storyline that could be brewing as well.
Well, indeed, and it just gets down to me, and I might be over analyzing this, but strength of schedule. I mean, they have duress every game they play. They're under the gun, the competition level. They can't take a shift off. They can't take a period off. If you play a lesser team, sometimes you get into bad habits. You start to lose your structure a little bit. But I think the Lake Conference is a great conference. Obviously, that's an understatement. But I think it keeps these teams honest and working hard and making them two-direction teams, because you can't win in the Lake Conference if you don't play a 200-foot game.
By no stretch of the imagination am I basically anointing Edina the winners of this hockey game.
No, we got a lot of hockey to play.
There's a lot to go. There's still another 34 minutes of play for 2 periods. And in the end, though, I mean, Edina, how many 3-0 leads have we ever seen this group specifically relinquish? I mean, if you go back to their Pee Wee years, I don't know many. So history needs to be made. There was also a little graphic that I saw where it says Edina is 20-0 when they score first.
Oh,
there wasn't one that said what they are when they're 3-0 leaders, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty hefty there too as well.
Well, Peter, and I brought this up on a number of occasions, Edina is very good at scoring goals within the first 3 minutes of a period and the final 3 minutes of a period, so that can actually sap the energy out of their opponents, and then they just kind of pile it on. But this is an Edina team that really gave up 46 goals during the regular season, 3 goals during section playoffs, and only 2 goals yesterday. So it's very difficult to score against this Edina team because they play sound defense, but it gets down to the defensive pairings and the forwards coming back. They just play a very well-versed defensive game, and I think a lot of their success breeds from their own zone. If you can master your own zone, the neutral zone and the offensive zone generally fall into place. So I think that's the call to order for this Edina Hornet team, is just master their own zone, and good things will come from that.
It is really good. Really good stuff. So anyway, our infomercials really bail us out, and I think that people probably prefer those over us. I mean, what the hell are we even talking about now? I mean, talk about stretching. Well, I got to get Matty Ice, who's just beside himself looking at the All-Lake Conference Final, breathing down his throat. Wants nothing to do with the broadcast anymore.
No, in fact, we're going to have to give him a ride here tomorrow just to make sure he shows up. I'm sure he'll bring his enthusiasm. He is a true pro, but obviously his emotional dauber is a little bit down right now. But again, just what I think you should really do is just celebrate, the Eden Prairie Eagles and how they went about their business during that last game. I thought they were very lights out during that game. They just certainly deserved to win that game. But the Edina Hornets are in a pretty good spot right now. We're about 4.5 minutes from the drop of the puck to start the second period. But in case you just joined us, thank you for joining us. 3-0 Edina. Shots on goal, a very lofty 17 for the Edina Hornets, but only 1 for St. Thomas Academy. I'd like to look back in the record books and see how many times St. Thomas Academy has been held to 1 shot during a period, and I think we'd have to go way, way back, I'd have to imagine. But that's a number that just jumps off the page.
I have to say a special hello to Chris Weigel.
Hello,
who's
Chris.
Listening on.
Appreciate you.
Of course, he and I have coached behind a bench together a few times.
Oh, how about that?
Bet you didn't know that.
No, I didn't, actually. A little fun fact. You sprung that one on me.
Every day.
I'd like to say hello to Doug Dornsafe out in Colorado.
Is he with us?
Yeah, indeed he is.
God, he's just unbelievable.
He's awesome. He was quite a player in his day as well, and his brother was lights out defenseman for
who was
for
better?
Edina. Well, sorry, Duggar, but David was a little bit more notable. But Doug had a good game, and he still plays to this date. So we're a couple old curmudgeons that are out there still mucking it up. He's probably far better than I am, though. Far more effective. You're welcome, Dorney.
How are your first 3 strides? Do you have any more?
Nah,
do you have any bursts?
That's kind of my challenge. When you get to be my age, a little long in the tooth, that's what kind of leaves you first. I wasn't that lightning quick to begin with, but after 3 or 4 strides, I can get up to half speed.
You've been compared to Mark Sertich.
Oh, I'm not quite that point yet. That's funny. But, once I get up to speed, I do okay. But, yeah, for all you youngsters, try to hang on to your speed as long as you can and keep the burst going. But I'm trying to focus on a little bit more leg drive, getting a little lower in my stride just so I can get that push off. But, yeah, that's my challenge. It's been with me for a long time.
How about those 2 snipes from Jungles and Malmquist? I mean, you're a goalie. You don't really have much of a chance.
No, in fact, you look at Muzzy Donahue, and he came out and challenged the shooters, tried to take that angle away, but they can thread the needle through the through the string through the needle's eye, so to speak, and it was just tough. But they were both under the bar. One was on the blocker side as far as Malmquist, and the other one was glove side as far as Jungle. So and Chorsky's was a nice one from a shallow angle. So, but I just think that the defense on St. Thomas has got to push the play out instead of trying to. Once you start looking at the Edina letters facing your goal, you're in not a great position, but they just have to kind of get back to the basics and how to defend in your own zone and push the play to the outside and limit the opportunities. And that's easier said than done against this Hornet team.
Scoring chances read 8-0 in favor of Edina. That's significant.
Yeah. And there were a couple wide shots for Edina as well, but St. Thomas has just got to kind of get a little bit of confidence back. They have to get focused and just push the puck up the ice. They started out really well. The first 5 to 7 minutes, they were actually moving the puck out of their zone pretty efficiently, getting through the neutral zone, getting the puck in. But Edina protects the middle of the ice so doggone well that this cadet team found the challenge. Getting in front was something that they couldn't do. But I look for that to change this period. But the long line changes, I don't know if it's going to benefit Edina or St. Thomas, but they're going to have to be cognizant of it because a lot of play was in the St. Thomas zone, and when you have the long line change and the puck is stuck in your zone, your defense can get tired legs pretty doggone quick, and this Edina team is very difficult to contend even with fresh legs, much less tired legs. Something they're going to have to be aware of. All the little nuances in this game, Pete, really come to light when it comes to an elimination game.
Edina Hornets have stepped on the ice now as the Cadets now are making their way out of their tunnel in their locker room. And we get ready for period number 2 with the Hornets moving from left to right across your computer screen. Our face-off times tomorrow, noon for the Class A championship, then we get a little bit of a break. And then 7 p.m. for the championship game, and we've got the weather. So I'll be curious to see how full this building is. I mean, it's Snowmageddon 6.
Well, I think everybody's kind of used to the weather and the challenges that it's presented. I mean, they're going to get here. It's just going to take them about 3 hours as opposed to 20 minutes.
If it took me 3 hours and 14 minutes to go from Hopkins to Stillwater,
yeah.
I mean, what's it going to take to get home?
No, that's a good call right there. But I will kind of give a tap on the shins to MnDOT. I think they've done a pretty good job of keeping the roads clean with the challenges in front of them. I got no benefit to butter them up.
There's some rain coming too next week.
Oh, that's when it gets owly.
Freeze it up.
That's when it gets owly.
That is just a joke. This has been.
That's when you put Tukes on the Honda and you skate.
Totally. You can't stride very well. But here's the thing. The thing that's really crazy, Bart, is the snow piles are so high that when you pull out, you got to nudge out. People look at you like, what are you doing? I can't see you.
Right. They don't know where to put all the snow. Here we go.
We're underway, Bandit. We run out of things to talk about.
We talked about snow.
And the weather. Back in behind the net. Played back around the boards. Hornets offensive zone. Boltman chips it down the wall, but it's picked off, and here come the Cadets. We'll see if they're invigorated from that 15-minute break as the ice was done a wraparound attempt. Hogue slides over and covers that one up.
Well, it was good energy by Ben Stucker, the senior forward. They gained the zone. Nice exit for St. Thomas. They navigated their way through the neutral zone and gained some speed. It was Stucker that went for the big skate, tried to do a wraparound far side, but it was Loudon Hogue that closed that gap in a hurry. Faceoff's going to be to his left, just 21 seconds into this period, but St. Thomas already doubled their shot total.
Rob Christie, of course, 19 goals, 20 assists. On the season, he had nice little point totals, 9 points in 7 state tournament games, headed off to Colorado College. CC's got a ton of Minnesota kids coming over the next couple of years. They've
getting some
committed
good ones
themselves
too.
to the area. Nothing better than the Colorado Springs area. I don't know if you've been there, Bart. It's lovely.
Well, Dorney tells me it's pretty nice over there.
Indeed it is. Hard to the net goes Delaney. Down he goes. Chorsky defends his teammate along with Vega. A little size mismatch there.
Well, as long as it's just words that are exchanged, but you can't get too amped up about it. But just coming to defense of his teammate, and that was Kevin Delaney, very hard on that forecheck. Face-off now to Donahue's right.
16-16 to go in the second period. Edina leads 3-0.
Jungle's taking the face-off.
Gets into the tee. Clean win there by Bamer. Hard ring back all the way through, and we're going to bring it all the way back down into St. Thomas Academy territory.
Well, I like the body language on St. Thomas. They don't look like they're too phased. It's kind of nice for that first intermission reset. They can come out with some fresh energy. All they need to do is get something positive to happen and get the good feelings going on, and a goal would be what the doctor ordered at this point.
There's a snapper glove save. Donahue, quick one off the stick of Nevers. Spun the stick around, wanted that one back.
Well, pretty good shot on goal, though. Tried to go glove side, but Donahue flashed the leather. Really nice save. He made it look pretty easy on a pretty challenging shot.
Jungles. Get some help from Nevers. Back behind the net they go. The Cadets out of it with Bamer. He's going to play that one off the boards away from Malmquist. They'll check the oncoming Herzog at the line as he tries to play it behind. Vega sweeps that out front. Borlicki, they score! Oh, a big goal by Herzog. Look out! Here come the Cadets. Nice start to the third period. It's 3-1 Edina.
Well, it was a really nice play, actually. Edina just couldn't contain the puck and keep it in the neutral zone, so St. Thomas Academy got it deep. And just a little bit of a misdirection pass back out front. But it was Herzog that put that puck over Loudon Hogue for his 17th goal of the year. But now they have some energy. They have something to build on from this point. They're only 2 good shots down, 3 shots on goal, and they got their tally. Now it's something to build on for this Cadet team. It'll be interesting to see how this Edina team responds. They come back with the Morton, Rugemer, and Colby line with Boltman and Reiners back on defense. But it's up to Edina to kind of give a pushback and let them know that it's not going to be that easy this time.
3-1 Edina now on their third shot going to the net. The Tommies, Luke Herzog, goal number 26. 1:12, the official time of that goal. Hornets will swing that one back in behind. Donahue plays this around the wall, held in by Reiners, deflected. That off Morton's stick. Pushes his man away from the puck, plays this up to the line. There's a snapper, save Donahue. Swung on and missed there on the rebound of the bouncing puck. Rugemer plays that one through the crease area. Now it's played up the left wing wall. Hornets forecheck, but now it's going to be played back out of the zone by Bamer. Bamer plays it left wing side for Brower, who plays that in around Hogue. Now over to play it is Hallam. Hallam plays that one down to the corner. The Hornets gather it up and in and out of the play. Boltman looks ahead, tried to find Colby. Nice little play to get inside out there for Hallam. And the Hornets will regroup in front of their own net. Boltman plays left wing side. Colby chips that one over to the right wing side. Rugemer was there. It's going to be played down the wall. On the play there, that was Brower. Reaching for the loose puck, it's Christie. Rob Christie now down back in behind the net. Wrapped up by Boltman, muscled him off the puck. Oh, cut off with the breakout pass. There's McFadden wide of the mark. To carry him off the left wing side. Christie with it. Cadets playing very well here to start the second period. They've had offensive zone possession for the majority of the period. Now it's Stucker. Looks to the slot area, swatted away by the Hornets. It's going to be Colby to chip it off the wall. The length of the ice it goes, and icing the call. Well,
you're right. Edina with a nice pushback initially, but Donahue made some pretty good saves, and then St. Thomas Academy came down and spent some good period of time in the Edina zone. Loudon Hogue being a little bit busy in goal. You can tell that he understands the situation, but it was Nico Vega that actually did that misdirection pass, put it on the stick of Herzog, and that's who got the official assist. 1:11 was the time of that goal. 3-1, 14-18 left in the second period.
Hornets with the draw on the wing. Quickly out behind their net they go with Borlicki. Crossing with him was Shoemaker at the line. Borlicki plays this one into the Cadets' corner. Now Beaudet's there as he plays it to an open corner with Christie, whose feed was misfired through the neutral zone, and it's going to be Williams ahead, deflected in by Jungles, kept that from being an icing call. Now behind the net, Henry tries to make a move, a little stick wag there. Now he comes away with it, walks it up ice, gets away from a stick from Nevers to the right wing side. It's going to be Christie again as he's bumped on the play, strong on the puck though. Nevers gathers it in, looks up the ice, that's off his stick. Hornets try to play it free, and that's going to be McFadden to stay on that puck. Bounding in on the goaltender, one hopped into the glove. And a nice little test of strength in front. That was by Christie and the Hornets' Mason Nevers.
Well, nothing came of it, but it's St. Thomas Academy showing a little confidence moving the puck and winning some battles, something they didn't do in the first period. So things are starting to change for St. Thomas. It's putting Edina on notice a little bit. Edina hasn't changed much of their game, but they're not winning each and every battle like they did in the first period. So St. Thomas getting some good opportunities.
Tonight's coverage presented in part by Brew Pub, lots of matzo pizza with a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. You can pick it up at your local grocer and convenience store. By RGM Construction for all of your arena needs, building and remodeling. Check them out. You can see their work at the Trier Rink of the Hopkins Pavilion and the Rock at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Also presented by Tradition Companies, 7 companies in one solution for all of your home building needs, buying, mortgages, wealth management, Capital Bank. TraditionCo.com is where you can find them. Also presented by Optimal Goalie with Larry Grace Jr. Takes you off the ice, gets you more athletic, gets you eating right, thinking like a goalie, playing like a goalie. Also Sportsman's Guide, South St. Paul, up to 60% off all merchandise. That'll be at their Beyond the Pond event, the big show from KFAN, Saturday, the 10th of March, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. Be sure to check that out. High school hockey right here at the MNHockey.tv. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. 13:34 left in the second period. Shots 19 for Edina, 3 for St. Thomas Academy, but St. Thomas Academy with the most important shot. They finally got that first marker on the board, and it seems to have given them a little confidence, a little energy, and they're starting to win some battles. Offensive zone faceoff to Loudenhoog's left.
Jet Jungles, Mason Nevers combined for 51 goals, 62 assists. 19 points in 5 state tournament games combined. Quite impressive. Back across the line, here come the Hornets. Boltman with it. Tipped over to the near side for Herzog. Cadets back up the left wing across the Edina line, in on goals, held onto and gloved by Loudenhoog.
Well, and that's one of the examples of how Edina plays defense. It was Boltman that actually pushed the puck up the ice into the St. Thomas Academy zone, got caught a little bit deep, but it was Liam Malmquist with his 28 goals that was minding his covering for his defensive defenseman, came down and forced him to the outside, did all the things right, and Loudenhoog made an easy save, but Malmquist very cognizant of the situation. Nice job by the Edina forward to cover.
Hornets with the win. Williams the ring, guided back down in behind the net. Vega is there. Chopped at, played to an open corner. Williams gathers it in, holds up for a minute, now finds Morton on the move. Left wing side it goes. Colby sends that one in on goal, and that's held onto by Muzzy Donahue. Edina with some shots that are from long range now. They're not getting the possession offensive zone time and getting back in behind the net.
No, but with confidence. It was St. Thomas's Andrew Bamer that challenged him and really forced him to the outside. Didn't give him a lot of options, but Edina had some good forward push, so got the shot on goal, but Donahue made a nice decision by hanging on to that.
Now for the Hornets, it's Kavanaugh in the face-off circle. Cadets come up with a win, and out of the zone they go with it with O'Brien. Plays this back into the zone. Soderling was there. Edina comes away with it. Nice job by Williams to get away from the forecheck. Cadets continue to hound. Played away from the forecheck, left corner. Williams, he had a man breathing down his throat. Stick save, Hogue. Rebound to the slot. He was lucky he got away with that one. Now it's off the stick of the Hornets. Jackson Borston sent right back in by Riley O'Brien. Played to center. Cole Kavanaugh is going to race into this one from the left wing side. Snapshots blocked by the defense. Nice job by Henry to take that shooting lane away. Overman's checked on the puck. Pinching in was Boltman. And Edina Hornets support in the neutral zone with Nevers to play into the far corner. Back up through center ice. That long clearing attempt by Henry's picked off by Jungles. They find Nevers, who's going to play in for Shoemaker. He hits a ton. Look out, you're Bodette. Yep, you're going to get jammed. And now the puck. Oh! That goes in off Henry's leg. Bart Archer shocked more than anyone else here in the arena.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your call.
4-1 Edina. That was a shocker.
Well,
took an absolute crazy carom off the defense from the far left wing boards.
Absolutely, and he was just minding his position, but it caromed off the back part of his skate blade and up and over the shoulder of Muzzy Donahue. Boy, if you're St. Thomas Academy, your heart had to hit your belly on that one. But just one of those incidentals, but we saw that in the previous game early. But now Edina back to that 3-goal lead, 11-35, shots on goal 21-5. But boy, just an incidental goal, but Edina will take it. It's a line drive in the box score, as they say.
Absolutely crazy goal there. We're going to reset it back at center ice. 11:35 to go, 21-5, your shots on goal.
And I think Jungles is going to get credit. That'll be his 32nd marker, second one of the night.
I mean, he was just throwing it to the slot. And it was not down by the goal crease or anything weird like that. It was way up there.
Yeah, he had some velocity on it.
Well, it had to go in from there. Just a crazy goal. Jungles back behind for Nevers now. Body check by Bamer. Hornets, Jungles out front he goes. He looks for Malmquist. Now Reiner sends it through. Jungles wants the hat trick. Malmquist is shot. He wants number 2 as well. Reiners gets away from one man. Had to get away from Malmquist. Now Malmquist comes away with it. Had nowhere to go, but he plays that one back in behind. Nevers fights off and check to get back in behind the net. Look at that. He stays on the puck. Nifty work there. Out front we had Jungles open off the doorstep. Boltman down for Malmquist. Looks like a power play hard off a stanchion. A terrific carom on the stick. I like this non-seamless glass because it's not as true. You never know where it's going to go. That thing just bounced right
Crazy
back
stuff.
out to the circle.
And Malmquist shot didn't miss by much.
Back to the corner it goes. Here they come. Wraparound attempt. Nice effort there by Will Shimmick. And it's going to be covered up there by Loudon Hogue with the faceoff coming to his left.
Well, Hogue had to cover that puck up because Rob Christie was waiting in the wings, and he took a stab at the goaltender, and Edina took a little bit of exception to it. But at least St. Thomas Academy is going to the net looking for second chance follow-up opportunities. Boy, they're showing the replay of that goal, and that was just a perfect storm in that respect. You have to feel for Carter Henry, who's done so many good things for St. Thomas. I'm sure he doesn't feel great about it, but 3-goal lead for Edina, but it doesn't look like St. Thomas is phased at all. They're just back to work.
They're rocking the Skull chant now. We should keep score of how many of those have happened here this weekend, Bart Archer. Icing the call back off the end boards. Barely, and we'll bring it back into Edina territory with 10:04 to go in the second period. 23-6 shots on goal, 4-1 in favor of Edina.
And Jungle's last goal was unassisted. Still plenty of time for St. Thomas Academy. Offensive zone faceoff, so good opportunity if they can win possession. Put some pressure on the Edina goaltender. Make him play.
Nick Williams reminds me of his father, Jason, who was a terrific player at Richfield High School back in the day, back in the early 90s on those terrific teams. Late 80s, early 90s, I believe it was. Now it's Delaney with it. Finds his man Borst across the line. Borst tries to fight off a check to the corner. Ooh, he's jammed. Took his shoulder off the dasher. No worse for wear there. Played down the line. Delaney comes away with it. Plays it off the end boards. It's going to be Chorsky to gather in. Plays that one up for Vorlicki. Snapper's block. That hits another St. Thomas player in Herzog as they'll take it across the line on the move with O'Neill. Puts on the brakes. Finds his man Bodette from the right point. Played to the corner by Bodette. From the right corner out front, that hits Vorlicki. Williams comes away with it. Quickly protects to the corner. Nice breakout. Wow. Terrific stuff to Chorsky, the center iceman. Ooh, he nearly got it back. And it's Borst to play that one in. They're going to say offside on the play.
Well, Malmquist not on that line. They moved Jackson Borst up to play with Chorsky and Delaney, and he actually made some good things happen, but he was put into the wall pretty hard, but no worse for the wear for that young man.
There was a quick whistle there off of that dump in by Edina, Bart, and it kind of sent some oohs and ahs out from the fans.
Well, I think that Edina, it was an offside situation where Edina just touched the puck. I think they needed to a whistle. But yeah, it was a bit of a quick whistle. But 9:08 to go in the second period. Both teams with this TV timeout have a chance to kind of catch their breath, maybe get some fluids if they need them. But coaches get a chance to kind of reset everything. I think the Benellis have done a good job to getting this team prepared, being down by 3 coming into this period. They're 1-1 during this period, but it was a bit of a fortunate goal for Edina to actually level the playing field on that. But I think St. Thomas has just got to keep doing what they're doing. They just have to maybe do it a little bit better, just keep the puck in the zone. But they've done a pretty good job of forcing Loudon Hogue to at least play this game tonight. At first, in that first period, he had a pretty easy period, probably his easiest period, or one of his easier periods of the year. But this one, he's had to work a little bit, but his team is back supporting him. But, you know, St. Thomas just needs, again, something good to happen after that response by Edina.
Keep working. That's about all you can do. And take it station to station. Continue to bring the positive effort. And before you know it, next thing you know, you get another bounce, and good things are going to happen. And we'll see what they can get done here as we're going to face off in the neutral zone. 9:08 to go in the second period. 4-1 the lead for Edina. Morton the draw. He's been really getting them done in the face-off circle for Edina. Rugemer is going to chase in. And one thing Edina's been ripping 3 and 4 lines. We've been seeing all of them playing here. Oftentimes we've seen them kind of fall in love with 2 lines at the state tournament. It starts to wear them down.
Well, in this format, I think that's going to be a benefit for Edina. That'll pay results.
Ooh, there was a close chance. Hogue somehow slid over and got a stick out on that one. Morton now is going to get in a foot race for the loose puck up the right wing boards, but that's Shimmick to win the battle. Plays it back over to the oncoming Hallam across the line, escapes and looks to the slot. That's off a pair of skates. Shimmick's shots off a pair of Hornets skates, and now it's going to be Colby. Takes that freebie, and out of the zone he goes. He spends that one, and he spun off the puck. NHL, that's going to be interference all day long. They want you to be able to go get that puck. Now it's going to be played back up into the neutral zone, but this is high school, we know. Now it's Vorlicki with it off the boards. High in the air, glove down by Shimmick. It'll be a hand pass, but instead the Hornets touch, so we're good there. And icing the call with 8:03 to go in the period.
Wow, that's a bit of a mystery. Vorlicki sent it from his blue line all the way down the ice to get an icing call, but you know, it could have been a hand pass situation, so he had some time to move it. So a bit of a mystery why that puck went all the way down, but face off now to Loudon Hogue's right. 8:03 left in the second period. Edina up by 3.
False start. We'll start over again. Cadets win the draw, but Edina slides over to gain possession and play it to center ice. 3 Cadets converge on the puck. Hornets try to poke this one free. It's going to be Nevers with it. Lays it off to the left wing side. Now it's going to be held deep. They go. Brought down on the play was Nevers as Jungles tried to feed him. Off to the right wing side. In on goal. It's going to be Hogue to cover up.
Well, and a very inspired Rob Chris, who was waiting in the wings. He had some good speed. Vorlicki trying to keep up with him, had pretty good positioning, but it was Chrissy that got inside of Vorlicki, but Loudon Hogue held onto that puck. Kind of a trying moment for the Edina Hornets, but good hustle by Rob Christie. He understands the situation, and it's not an effort situation for St. Thomas. They're giving everything they got. It's just Edina's playing a very solid brand of defense.
Now it's going to be Boltman to play over for Bishop. Bishop looks up to the right wing side. It's going to be Malmquist to play this one in. Some juggling going on along the lines of the defensive pairings. Up high to the slot. That shot's taken. That by Chorsky was turned aside by Donahue. Glove down by Boltman. Tries to play it to the corner, but that's cut off by the defense. Chorsky slides over to the right wing side. Gets a stick in on one man there, and it's going to be gathered in by the Cadets. They play it to Shimmick. Shimmick from the top of the left circle. Long pass, misses the mark. That was away from McFadden. Hogue's going to guide it off to his left. 6:53 to go in the period. So Hornets play this one up through center ice. Off the boards, back in behind, cut off. Oop, nope, not cut off by Hogue. Gets underneath the stick. And a delayed penalty, or delayed offside on the call. We're going to bring it all the way back out of the zone.
Well, and I think that might come all the way back down into the STA zone. It's going to be to Donahue's left. 6:43 left in the second period. Shots on goal. Edina 24. St. Thomas Academy with 9. So they've got 8 shots in the first 11 minutes or 10 minutes of this period. So things are trending the right direction. They just haven't solved Loudon Hogue so far. But again, Edina's just playing that shutdown defense. They're just really protecting the middle of the ice very, very well today.
They are for sure, Bart Archer. Played back behind the net, cut off by Donahue. He rings this around the boards. And they'll guide it again to the far side. Vega checked on the play. There's a quick shot, glove save. Donahue looked it in, went down to the knees. The pace of this game was so good at the start of the first period, and it's kind of crashed to a halt here. They're trying to find their way here. And for the Cadets, that might favor them. I thought that the stride for stride would be good for this team, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they're slowing it down a little bit, and they're being a little bit more effective. It was a good shot by Nick Williams from the point, but an easy save by Muzzy Donahue.
Bamer with it now. It's going to be Nevers back in behind the net. D to D go the Cadets as they're going to work it out of the zone on the move. O'Neill with it. Stopped at the Edina line. Colby gathers in, gets away from a check even though he's hit. Borst, top of the right circle, had his shooting angle taken away. Nice job by the defense, and Bamer cut that one down. Puck sits in the slot area, gathered up by Shimmick. Outlets to the right wing side for Vega. Loses the handle right in front of the penalty or his player bench area. Dumps it in and gets a partial change as the Hornets will regroup back in behind their own net. They'll play it off to the left wing side. Now Borst, touch pass up the middle. Morton, nice little quick mitts there. Plays that back in behind the net with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the second period. Bounded back into the neutral zone. Vorlicki is going to play this one off a pair of skates. That's knocked down by Shoemaker. Wow.
Bodies all over the place.
Nevers went skyward. Looked really smooth.
He's got a nice vertical.
That was impressive. Left wing on the pass. It's going to be a quick snapper. That one by Jungles. He likes to snipe. Missed the mark there. You know, when it came to the Mr. Hockey finalist discussion, not a ton of talk about Jungles and Nevers. You got to be kidding me. There's a nice play, Jungles to Nevers. They nearly pulled the trigger. I mean, they're as good as anything we've seen out here of the Mr. Hockey finalists.
Well, they don't lose battles either. They always give good effort, 200 feet, but they rarely lose battles.
Across the right wing line now, it's Hornets on the attack, but they're going to be stopped. Stucker comes away with it. And now the Cadets take it away back at their own line, across the line as they try to fight their way to some real estate in the Edina zone as Reiner shuts that one down to the corner. Back up to the left point, Shimmick plays it to the right side, laid back in by Bamer as it's going to be gathered out of there by Chorsky. Chorsky tried to carry that one through the zone, gets a poke check, but the Hornets get it back, and Shoemaker to play deep. Chorsky breathes down on Donahue, who plays that away from the big reach. Up high to the right point, away from Boltman it goes, as it's going to be Vorlicki to regroup back in his own zone. He'll play this one up to the right wing side. That's cut off. That might have hit the official.
It did.
Fans didn't like that one.
Neither did Chorsky.
Well, it's part of the game.
Right on.
Especially when you got four of them out there. Malmquist, I'd say, why didn't you see him? That gets away from the stick. Shimmick protects from Chorsky, lays it back out of the corner. They look to work it to the left wing side, do the Cadets. They go rink wide off the boards. That's gathered in by Herzog. And that's, Herzog follows it through. His stick was checked by Williams. They got a hook coming up, or an interference, take your pick. He didn't let him get the shot off. Good to play there, because that was a great scoring chance. Hornets can't get possession. Left side they go. Shimmick, now Donahue finally catches it and works his way to the bench, but too little too late. Hornets possession power play for the Cadets.
Well, I think it's going to be a stick penalty, and I think it's going to be on Chorsky. I don't want to charge anybody.
Williams,
okay. Sorry about that, Chorsky. But great opportunity, 3:17 left in the second period, down by 3. Now St. Thomas on the power play, and they have a nice power play, about 33% during the regular season. It's slowed down a little bit during state tournament play, but a great opportunity for St. Thomas, and it doesn't mean they necessarily have to score, but they can kind of get back into the offensive zone, move the puck around, maybe gain some confidence and put some pressure on Loudon Hogue and force them to make a play, force them to make a save.
The Cadets had the good push out of the period there, and they came out, scored the quick goal, and the next thing you know, it's right back at you. The Hornets kind of regained control. Had kind of a crazy goal scored by Jet Jungles, and then next thing you know, it's back in kind of a a slogged down game, if you will, right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that goal is going to make the the Jet Jungles highlight reel as it stands, but they all count.
It might have to. It's so rare.
Yeah, I suppose the exception. But the puck just rolled on Williams, and it was the St. Thomas forward that was coming in speed. So, as you said, he didn't get that shot. So, if there's going to be a good penalty, I guess, in that situation, that was it. But Edina's got to pick up their teammate. But, again, a great opportunity for this Cadet team to get back into this game. Face-off's going to be to Loudon Hogue's left. 3:17, as we said, left in the second period.
Hogue will work his way back into the Edina net. They'll face off to his right. It'll be Herzog for the Cadets, Morton for the Hornets.
Morton's getting some serious ice time tonight.
He is.
Doing quite well with it, too.
Liking what he's bringing.
Right on.
The junior, they'll be leaning on him next year. Nice job up through the neutral zone by O'Neill. Talk about the 2 goals he scored last night. Wow, were those amazing.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely shelf precision shots. Just gorgeous.
They'd like him to do that again tonight.
Well, the spot was right in that slot area. Hornets get possession and send that one back up into the center ice area. Stucker was there. Kind of bulldozes his way down the wall to get it there, and the Hornets find the opening and send that one through center. That's going to be cut off by Donahue.
Great effort by Morton on that one to stop that forward push.
Here they come back out of the zone with it now. It's going to be Christie. 50 play by O'Neill. Back door, they have a chance. Oh, Herzog chance doesn't get through. And Christie was there. Hornets come away with it. They win the battle off the end boards. 58 to go in the man advantage and 2:13 to go in the period. Winding it up out of the zone with speed is Hallam. Hallam now gets away from one man. Nice pass to the slot area, but that's cut off by an Edina defender. Up to the line, sent back in by Henry from the left point for the Cadets. They win the battle. Down goes Boltman. Vorlicki cuts that one off. Back in behind the net. This is a key kill for Edina. They want that 3-goal lead.
Boy, what a great job of defending by Vorlicki. There were 3 blue jerseys down around the net, and they didn't have possession, but he took 1-on-3 and came out victorious. Little wins.
Vega to the line. And now the Hornets control. It sounds like we're at a Premier League game. The Cadets are singing.
Uh-oh.
Messi! I'm kidding. A little soccer for you there.
Yeah,
now
gotcha.
across the line they go. Sent right back in as the Hornets kill the penalty. Henry back in behind the net. Shoveled up high in the air. Edina plays it down. Cross the line with Boltman. He's going to follow it through to the corner. Why not? Gets a stick in on Bamer, competing off the end boards, but here they come. Vega for the Cadets across the Edina line. Cuts back to his backhand of the slot and wanted to find a feed down the right wing side for Hallam. He was checked by Jungles. That's Kavanaugh to make the play out of the corner. Now they find Borst with it. Borst guides it over to the right wing side for Boltman, who plays it in. This has been an impressive show of depth by the Edina Hornets. They've been rolling them all out here tonight. Very impressive. Back to the left wing side, and nobody's missing a beat. They're playing all as one, as a unit, and making things happen. Now it's Delaney's turn. Across the line, Kevin Delaney, topo, dangle. Ooh, he just missed the mark. Just absolutely wowed everybody with that one. Kevin Delaney. Now they'll turn away with this one with Shimmick. Down to 10 seconds to go in the period. They're going to lay this one back in behind the net. Donahue sets that up for his man, Bodette, as he outlets to the left wing side. That's off an Edina stick, and that's going to do it for the period. Edina out shooting the Cadets 26-10, and they have the 4-1 lead here in the second period.
Well, Edina with only 9 shots on goal to St. Thomas Academy's 9 shots on goal. So a better period for St. Thomas, but they still find themselves down by 3. 17 minutes to go in regulation time for St. Thomas to do some damage, but Edina just, as you said, rolling over the lines, not losing any energy or continuity and going about their business. Promise to be a good, inspired third period.
Indeed it does, Bart, and we'll keep it here for a minute. We'll let you listen to the music from the bands here, and then we'll be back with the start of the third period.
only one place that gives every dream a chance. Public schools, staffed by professional educators with the biggest dream of all.
That I will be one of tomorrow's difference makers. Believe. Believe. Believe.
Believe.
We are not.
For more than 100 years, the Minnesota State High School League has been a national leader in providing educational opportunities for students through interscholastic athletics and fine arts programs. The league also provides leadership and support for 525 member schools it serves. Minnesota ranks in the top 10 nationally with more than 235,000 participants. Each of the 38 activities reaches a crescendo at the state tournament level, where the Minnesota State High School League sponsors championships in athletics and the fine arts. The Minnesota State High School League is a recognized national leader in the fine arts with more than 80,000 students participating in debate, speech, music, drama, and visual arts. The Minnesota State High School League is proud of the legacy and tradition of service to the student participants of its 525 member schools.
Who are we? We are the league.
This is not a game or fireworks on 4th of July, and it's bigger than any state championship. It's not where the state takes you, but who it makes you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsey Brown.
And I'm Kevin Hill. When you're looking for more local news at a convenient time, turn to 45 TV Local News at now.
Now let's see what's happening with the weather. We're in store for another cold night tonight, despite hitting 23 degrees here today. Oh my.
Working as a team under pressure doesn't only apply to sports. There are also skills learned while working at McDonald's, where you can get financial help to pursue a degree. McDonald's Our Choice Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees at universities, community colleges, and trade schools. Managers receive $3,000 per year. Crew members, $2,500. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
Here we sit between periods, 6.5 minutes remain. As Bart Archer was working the Facebook world, I saw you and Tyke were chatting.
Well, I got a couple people that just wanted some updates that don't have the availability to join us. Now, holding up my responsibilities on that. But Pete, it'd be a good
What
time.
do they have? What do they have? Old school phones?
No, it's just they don't have the availability. They're in something, but just trying to cater to the masses, try to provide a service. I'm sure they're sick of my hockey posts. I'll guarantee that. But now would be a good time to go through the scoring, just get everybody caught up. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Edina in the first period opened the scoring at the 10:33 mark. It was Chorsky with his 13th from Malmquist. Then at the 14:31 mark, it was Malmquist from Boltman. Malmquist with his 28th. And then at the 15:28 mark, it was Jungles with his 31st from Williams. And then in the second period, St. Thomas answered back at the 1:12 mark. It was Herzog with his 17th from Vega. And then a kind of an unusual goal for Jet Jungles, his 32nd unassisted at the 5:25 mark. That's where we are right now, 26-10 of the shots on goal. The statistic that really, Pete, jumps off the page is the face-off. Edina's had great success. They lead St. Thomas 25-15 in the face-off dots, but Chorsky hit a 9-1 clip in the face-off circle, so very, very effective. And a couple of the Edina, Grand Morton 7-4, and Jet Jungles 4-1 in the face-off dot, and that's pretty much your difference right there. But that's one of the reasons why Jungles is taking the face-offs, because he's been very, very successful. But we're just under 5 minutes to go before the drop of the puck, and but 17 minutes to go in St. Thomas's bid to move into the Saturday night game. But Edina's making it awful difficult for him.
Well, here we go. We're about ready to get things started. Bart Archer, you just gave us about 2 minutes worth of great stuff that nobody heard.
Yeah. And I don't have a lot of great stuff to offer from this point forward, just so you know, Pete Wagner.
Well, can you replicate?
Well, yeah. Just what I need to do is be redundant, right?
Well, nobody knows if they didn't hear it. How about this scoring chances now favor Edina, 11-4. Shots on goal, 26-10. Jet Jungles has a pair of goals. I mean, there's some really good stuff that's been happening here. The Lake Conference looking real good right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of a little bit of the talk that's going on around, at least from a couple people. But scoring chances, I believe there were 8 scoring chances for Edina. So now, St. Thomas is limiting the Edina scoring chances, but Edina being a little bit more conservative. They're sending one man on the puck, keeping one man off the play, and F3 is hanging up and reading the play and making the necessary adjustments. So they're not calling off the Dogs, but they're just being a little bit more responsible, erring on the side of defense, which I think is appropriate when you have a couple-goal lead, especially in this type of a format.
So it's been quite the day here today. It started with the semifinals at 11 o'clock, which saw St. Cloud Cathedral victorious. And they come up with a 5-2 win as they move on to take on the winner of the Greenway game in Matamina, and it was Greenway with a huge win there, overtime. They had the 1-0 lead, saw that evaporate to a 2-1 deficit. Third period, they come back, scrap their way in. I mean, they had players that were logging some ice time that were exhausted, standing straight up and down. It was incredible, Bart.
Yeah, the Zephyrs showed really a lot of character by coming back, being down by a goal. They scored 2 in the third period, but then it was Greenway that actually showed some character, scoring in the waning moments of regulation time and then winning it in overtime. But that brought a lot of energy to the building. The first game I didn't get a chance to see. I got a chance to hear Patrick and Nate on the call, and it sounded like a good game, but it sounded like the afternoon one was the game of the day so far until Eden Prairie played and until Edina played. But it's been a good day of hockey so far. A lot's been determined, obviously, and fans have been treated as a fine exhibition of how this high school game should be played.
It is a great example of how good it's gotten to. I mean, I think that's the thing that gets kind of missed in all this stuff is, when you look at some of the videos, even from the 90s, they're showing those Duluth East Greyhounds, Apple Valley things, highlights. Wow, that skating is a lot different. Not as strong as it is now. But keep in mind, a lot of those kids weren't year-round players and haven't been year-round players since they were 5 or 6 years old.
Well, also think about nutrition. Think about exercise, staying in shape, think about the technology of the equipment. I mean, there's a lot of factors that really work into it. So, and I'm not trying to defend too much, but with what they had back in that day, it was pretty impressive. But things have ramped up a little bit, and things have reached a bit of a new level. But
their skating level is so off the charts.
And it's the depth of the quality of skating level. I mean, if you play high school hockey in Minnesota, obviously you can play the game. But you just look at the depth of some of these teams. I mean, look at this Minnetonka team that we had the benefit of witnessing all year long. They could skate like the wind. I mean, from top to bottom, and that's just one example. I mean, there's several teams out there that are really bringing a good brand, and it's everybody in the rest of the nation is aware of hockey in Minnesota, but this time of year the emphasis on this high school tournament, and I think it's one of the great promoters for the high school game, and it gets everybody outside the Minnesota borders involved as well, and that's what we're here for, is to provide a service for those people that can't be here. Both teams are on the ice. Minnetonka, God, I saw the blue jerseys and just I've been conditioned, but St. Thomas Academy looks pretty calm, pretty poised. Edina having a little bit of a group outside the bench before this period starts. They 17 minutes away from perhaps moving on to the Saturday night special against the Eden Prairie Eagles, border rival, very familiar Lake Conference rival as well. But St. Thomas is going to have something to say about that, so I expect St. Thomas to come out with a lot of fury in the first part of this period, and that's going to have to sustain through that full 17 minutes. But Edina is a very difficult team. They're a good front-running team, and when they have a lead, they can play the shutdown defense, but they play very sound responsibly, so they're not going to get too overzealous on the forecheck. They're going to mind their responsibilities in the neutral zone, but they're going to tighten up once it gets into the Edina defensive zone. So it's not going to be easy for St. Thomas, not beyond the realm of possibility, because they have the guns that they have the horses that can run.
Around this building, there were more people in here for the Class A semis than there are right now.
Well, they're all getting
the traffic, buddy.
They're getting their pizzas, but we're underway. Looks like a penalty right out of the gate.
Penalty out of the chute. Boltman has got the hands up in the air, wondering what?
Well, that's really not the way to start a period if you're Edina faithful. But if you're a Cadet, this is exactly what you needed. Just 8 seconds in, and Edina takes a penalty, so it's going to be a power play for the Cadets. Only one shot on goal in their previous power play, so they're going to have to build on that number.
He gets a cross check. He tried to step up with a hit, but he let it in the hands. You're going to go every time with that one on it. You can't have your stick.
Well, maybe a rough might have been a little bit more appropriate, but nonetheless, penalty's a penalty. St. Thomas on the power play. Face off to Loudenhoeg's left.
2 minutes all day long. Off the glass, it goes through up and over the glass.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that penalty. It's just a question about what they called. But face-off going to do a reset. Just a couple ticks off the clock. Just 4 seconds off the penalty kill. Face-off again to Loudenhoeg's left. Nevers against Vega.
Nevers the draw back in behind the net. Off the glass it goes. Fighting in off the wall is Bamer, Vega, and it's going to be Nevers that wins the battle. Sticks were straight fencing there, and Nevers won through all of that. Now it's going to be the Cadets. Up the middle they go. Henry, that almost looked like a flying V. He dropped it right back behind his man as there were 4 guys ahead of him. I didn't think that was real.
Mighty Ducks of the Belarus regroup.
Oh my God, it just paid through. There's a shot and a save by Hogue, and the return shot right in on him. He hangs on to. Ooh, now Hogue takes a shot, gets engaged with some fisticuffs with Brower.
And Brower's not a small man, but it was a good shot from the point by Bamer, and then it was the follow-up that nice side-to-side by Loudenhoeg, but Edina Hornets took a little exception to it. They get some fresh legs out on the ice. 1:18 left in the penalty to junior defenseman Blake Boltman for the Edina Hornets.
Chorsky pulls that one back off the face-off. The Cadets hustle after it. McFadden is there. Nice job to get away from Chorsky. Backs it into the left corner. Now McFadden plays up high to the line. Christie with it. Back down to McFadden. Ooh, little power move along the goal line. Try to open up from the backhand to a forehand, but knocked off his stick. Hornets sent it the length of the ice.
Great positioning by the Hornets. They really took away all the options. All they could do was back into the goal and try to stuff one in.
52 to go in the power play for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. That gets underneath Vorlicky's stick. Looks back up ice. Long pass ahead it goes. Now Malmquist inside out. Oh, the dangle is on. Short side off the glass.
Wow.
Malmquist put on a skills clinic there as he worked the stick handling, the speed, and all of the above. Sent back in behind the net, cut off there by the goaltender, Muzzy Donahue. Now Herzog back in behind the net, turned away from by Stucker. He'll look up ice to the right wing side. They'll take it in stride. Borlicki is there with the stick, gets some help along the way by Reiners, forces it through center. 5 to go in the Boltman penalty, and we'll be at even strength here, 5-on-5. 14:50 to go in the period. 4-1 Edina. Oh, they'll spring a man. It's Nevers. He's dangerous in on goal. Oh, what a save by Donnie, who extends his pad to the left. It was Nevers who had the breakaway partial right at the blue line there as he looked to the backhand, pulled it back to the forehand, and tried to tuck it home off the left side, but it nearly worked its way through. Donahue wisely closes the legs.
Boy, and it's good that he did, but I thought that Nevers came in with pretty good rate of speed, so to speak, but I thought Donahue played it quite well. He came out to meet Nevers and then went back in concert with him and kept the puck out of the net. Nice job by the St. Thomas Academy goaltender.
Back up into the center ice area. It's going to be Colby. Now it's picked up by Shimmick of the Cadets as he works across the left side. Knocked off his stick by Colby again. Now it's going to be Bamer to chop that one back into the Edina zone. Back in behind the net. Boltman plays that one around. Read by Hallam. Back up to the line. Shimmick turns up ice. Runs out of room. Plays it over to the right wing side for Soderling, who plays that behind the net. They'll look to the slot. Nothing there as Boltman plays it away. Rugemer plays that through. And it's going to be handled now by Reiners back in behind the net. Now Colby from the left wing side across the center. Plays that around hard. Malmquist can't handle that. The Cadets outlet to the right wing side. McFadden is there across the line. Checked by Williams. And back in behind the net it goes. Turned away from traffic is Stucker. Shot in on goal. Hogue makes the save. 13:29 to go in the third period.
Well, that was a good save. It was a positional save, but he was very cognizant of what was going on the play, and he came out and challenged, really took all the angle away on that. But it was a nice win along the wall by the Cadets. Turned and fired, put a good shot on goal. But Loudon Hogue, he's going to be called upon, I'm sure, in this period. But he answered the bell on that one. 13:29 left in regulation time. Edina up 4-1.
Minnesota.
Coverage of tonight's and this weekend's hockey is presented in part by the Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul, up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Pond event that starts tomorrow, the 10th of March, from 10 a.m. until noon. Be sure to stop by their store located in South St. Paul, right off the corner of Concord and 494 on the northeast corner. Also presented by Brew Pub, lots of Matzo Pizza with a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Take advantage of that. It's your local grocer. Also presented by RJM Construction for all of your arena construction needs, building and remodeling. Check out their work on the Trier Rink. Great stuff there. The Hopkins Pavilion and the Rock, the St. Louis Park Rec Center, among others. All great pieces of work there. Also presented by Tradition Companies. They have 7 companies and one solution for all your home building, buying, wealth management needs. You can check them out at traditionco.com. And presented by Optimal Goalie. Larry Grace Jr. will help your goaltending coaches and your goalies achieve their game to another level, to their optimum performance. Make sure you get yourself the right diet, athletic training, and off-ice training that makes you the best you can be in the nets.
Well, 13:29 remains in regulation time. Plenty of time for the Cadets. They get a good opportunity. Offensive zone face-off to Hogue's left.
Face-off won by the Cadets as they play that one back into the corner. McFadden is there. And they'll lift this one up through the neutral zone and back into their own zone they go with it. Goes Wingus and trickles just over the line for icing. Edina fans didn't like it.
Well, understood, but it is going to come back down. A lot of face-offs in the Edina zone. But they've had pretty good success. You can't tap fate too many times because there's some legitimate face-off men on this Cadet squad. But again, how many times can they get an opportunity? They need to get some shots on goal.
Nevers will draw against McFadden. Who gets the draw? Does McFadden. The Hornets quickly cover that one up, and who comes out of the zone but Nevers. Right up the middle, nice pass to Jungles. Oh, they say that's offside at the line. Malmquist was going to open up and let her rip from the high slot, but that was just offside by an eyelash.
Yeah, and I don't think the Edina fans like that one either, but it was Jungles that just snuck in a little bit. But Nevers, Jungles, and Malmquist, what a formidable line coming up 3-on-2. Oh, boy, I'm sure Muzzy Donahue's eyes got big, so fortunate for the Cadets they were offsides.
Hornets led in shots after the first period, 17-1, and 3-0 after the first period. Played back through to the right wing side. Henry is there. Picked up by Christie, lost the handle, gets some help now by Bamer, who's going to settle in back in behind his net. He looks for the long pass through center that hits Williams. And now they're going to play it to the left wing side. Christie reaches for it. Wrist shot, score!
What a snipe. Holy cow.
Christie gets a hold of that thing and labels it upstairs. It's now 4-2. Look out, here they come.
Well, it was Bamer that actually started the play behind his end line. He just sent it up the middle. It was Williams that stopped the puck, but it was St. Thomas that got possession off that and just brought it into the zone, turned around and fired and sniped a corner from the left dot. But for Rob Christie, that's goal number 20, so nice plateau for that young man. But that'll give him some energy. Now it's a two-shot game, 12:31, so plenty of time to go. Edina's very notorious for answering back when scored upon, so maybe that'll get them refocused a little bit. They seem to get a little lazy and just going through the motions, but nice shot, just short side, blocker side, just under the bar. Snipe.
Yeah, he got something into that one. It looked like Vorlicki might have gotten a piece of it, too. If not, that thing was terrific shot by Christie. And now their fans are re-engaged into this hockey game. In on Donahue as here comes a couple of Hornets.
Well, not only the fans, but it looks like the Cadets are a little bit more engaged on the bench. Everybody's up and encouraging, hands clapping, things are going on, but it's up to Edina to answer back.
Well,
Sure.
you know, in this world, there is a tomorrow because it's a third place game, but there really is no tomorrow for what you want to do.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to the left side of the bracket.
Here they come back through center. It's going to be the Cadets. Left wing side. That one goes up high over the glass. Look out. That was some serious motion there. Now it's Malmquist with Chorsky. Behind the back, Chorsky. Malmquist scores!
Oh, my word.
You want to talk about an answer. That is an answer.
Just a nice give and go by Malmquist and Chorsky, but it was a nice chip out of the zone and put on Malmquist's stick. He drew the defender and sent it off to Chorsky. Once the defender went to Chorsky, it came back to Malmquist and he put it into a wide open goal. Boy, I'm sure that St. Thomas Cadets are just scratching their heads right now, but Edina comes back with a great answer. Just a misplay at the blue line for St. Thomas. Malmquist a little backhand pass to Chorsky, and then Chorsky returned the favor. Malmquist into an open goal, but now it's 5-2. Back to a 3-goal advantage, but what a big goal it was for Edina. That's what good teams do. They answer when needed. And Malmquist, that's goal 29, making a bid for 30, but that's the second one of the night, but what a big goal it was. Chorsky on the helper.
So as Malmquist goes for the big celly, in comes Herzog, who gives him a shot.
Yeah.
That's part of that celly stuff that I bark about, you know. I mean, you don't want to poke a bear, and you just do, you know. It's just...
Well, Muzzy Donahue just got pulled, and it wasn't because of his play, but I think they're going to give Wes Jarvis a chance as a senior to play in a semifinal game tonight.
Guess his former Edina classmates. Wes Jarvis gets the nod. Looking to change a little bit of the mojo here. Sometimes you'll do that. He started the game against Egan, played a period, then Donahue came in. Now it's a 2-on-1. Player hurt behind the play.
Oh, you don't like to see
Hornets
that.
had a 2-on-1 brewing, and down on the play was Shimmick.
Boy, and he's a big, vital player for this St. Thomas squad. We're not going to speculate as far as what's going on, but we just hope everything's going to be okay and he can rejoin his team.
I didn't see what happened. Did you?
I did not either, and they aren't going to likely show a replay, but Edina coming down 2-on-1, but obviously the health of these players is far more important than a 2-on-1 in the third period.
He's getting himself up. It looks like he grabbed the left side of his thigh.
Well, hopefully it's just a bruise or something like that, but he looks like he's getting better as he goes, and they did have the necessary trainer out there making that decision, so hopefully we'll see Will Shimmick back. He's been a vital member of this team all year long, and especially tonight he's turned in a fine performance.
Yeah, I got to give the trainers credit. They get out there quick.
That was pretty quick.
No, they move. I mean, some of them, remember Doc Rose used to just sprint?
Absolutely.
And how he never fell down, I don't know. Remember
Absolutely.
how fast he used to get out there?
That's funny.
He had the towel, the white shirt,
I remember
the
Doc
green
Rose.
pants.
Sure, absolutely. I'm trying to think of who the coach was. Who was the coach that sprinted to the Hoggia after, and he actually was passing some players on skates, and he was on the. It was during sections or something. Never mind.
Noel Ron.
It was Noel Ron. Thank you, boy. Yeah, that's right. But he beat some of the players
I
to the
didn't think he
Hoggia.
could move that fast.
Right.
I gave him a hard time over that one.
Well, we knew he could skate. We didn't know he could run that fast, though.
How's it going over here, Matt? Matt Harrington.
And wrestling with emotions, I'm guessing.
Are you really down? Oh, okay. I thought he was okay. Okay. Matt Harrington's having another solid professional evening that he always does, keeping it above board.
His effort is inspiring.
Always is. His smile keeps me going on a daily basis.
And he doesn't like it when I sing.
I do.
So I found one.
I absolutely love the Ozzy Osbourne.
That's funny.
Back in along the line, in front they go. I was watching the Cinderella video earlier tonight between, just to try to get you singing. Matt goes, you're like my dad. You watch all these old dumb videos. O'Neal across the line. He can snipe. Wanted to go short side there. Nothing doing, as that's off the end boards. Christie's down back in behind the net. There's a delayed penalty. The Hornets having another penalty coming up. This thing's far from over, buddy.
Well,
5-2
indeed it is, and it's going to be Vorlicki, really one of their primary penalty killers as well. They have the depth to be able to weather the storm, but 11:04 left in regulation time. St. Thomas Academy down by 3. Great opportunity right now. There's plenty of time, and they're going to get a good opportunity. But it was Vorlicki just, he hammered him into the boards pretty hard, a little aggressive. And that was Rob Christie that he delivered to the wall. So he's going to spend 2 minutes in the box, but great opportunity for STA.
That one wide of the mark. Back up to the line it goes. It's going to be handled now by Bamer. Bamer, snapper, glove save. Nice job by Hogue.
Well, that's going to give him a little confidence, but he down at 5 shorties on the year. Malmquist with 3, Morton with 1, and Delaney with 1. So St. Thomas Academy, as much as they need a goal, they're still going to have to be cognizant of playing defense if these guys get the puck. Boy, how many times have you said face up to Loudon Hose left tonight?
Quite a few. It's been this dot.
Yeah, this one in particular. 1:45 left in the penalty. Vorlicki for Edina.
Off the end boards it goes. Now they're going to play it off the end boards. Big check thrown there on Jungles. 2 and 3, and then 2 players of the Cadets back in behind the net. Up to the left point it goes. They had a man on the back door.
Wow.
That's picked up by Nevers as he tried to gather that thing in. And now it's going to be held in at the line by Bamer. Vega. They'll play this up one-timer. That one just wide of the mark. Big Karam's going to be played back down and sent around the corner. It's quite amazing. I can hear the announcer next to me, and I got to just block this one out part. It's getting so quiet and cavernous in here.
Right.
It's like we're talking to each other. Now it's Bamer with it. Plays that to the left wing side. That's deflected. That hits Boltman, and it's going to be sent back into the St. Thomas Academy zone with 9:47 to go in the period, 42 to go in the man advantage.
Edina with wholesale changes.
Laid off to the left wing side. Here they come. The Cadets will work this one through. Up high it goes. Now it's going to be O'Neal with it. O'Neal really hasn't been able to get the big snipe capabilities going here tonight. The Hornets have jumped on his stick. Now back in behind the net. O'Neal again with it. Walks up high to the left circle. Shot it on goal. Stopped by Hogue. It's been big here. Oh, another pad save. Puck still loose. Scores! Henry Berries. It's 5-3. Cadets are not going away.
No, in fact, we didn't think they would because there's a lot of character on this team, but it was Henry scoring his 8th, but it was Loudon Hogue that actually made 2 or 3 different saves, but no Edina Hornets in the vicinity to actually pick up and block out. So nice job by staying with the play by Carter Henry, but he scores his 8th goal. Big goal it is. Now it's a 2-goal game, 9:14 to go. Edina's got to stay out of the box if they're going to have a method of success right now, but Edina knows the situation. But as Edina does, they will answer back, they will push back. So St. Thomas, the Cadets are on notice to hunker down and make sure that the next minute or two isn't in Edina's favor. Edina kind of vulnerable looking at the replay. It was Loudon Hogue that was outside the blue, and it just got to an angle situation, but really nice job to chip it in by Henry.
Back behind it goes into the corner now with 9:06 to go, a 2-goal game. Cadets playing strong here down the stretch. The Hornets looked invincible in period number 1, very solid for some of period number 2. Now the Cadets are going toe-to-toe with the Hornets here, and it's a 2-goal hockey game. Now Jungles races away to the left wing side, puts on the brakes, loses an edge, and it's going to be played back up to the right wing side. Here they come across the line with Stucker. He waited for a man over to the far side. That was Christie. He goes feet first into the wall with Williams. Up over everyone, the length of the ice it goes, icing the call. Carter Henry, the goal scorer.
Well, obviously there's a sense of urgency to the Cadets. They're playing with a lot more vigor right now, a lot more purpose, and they're actually winning some battles, but a lot of zone time for St. Thomas in the Edina end and putting pressure on Hogue. That's exactly what they needed to do. Still got some work to do, though.
And we'll reset once again.
Face off outside the Edina zone. Shots on goal now 30-19, so that gap is closing. The longer this game goes on, this gap is closing. Edina, a very good front-running team, but it looks like they're struggling a little bit to kind of find their mojo again.
Played back through. Behind the net it goes. Bodette is there. Chorsky wins the battle. You know, Edina gets into these situations where when they need one, they usually get it. But it's hard to maintain that pace that they had for 3 straight periods. I mean, It was really incredible hockey, but you got to give the Cadets credit as they didn't stop and they keep battling. Here they come, right with it. Swatted away there by Malmquist. Back into Cadet territory it goes with 7:47 to go in the period. Morton gets in on his man. It's going to be controlled now by O'Brien. Colby goes down with his. And now behind the net, it's going to be Reiners, watched on the play by Wright. Reiners lays that one ahead. O'Brien was hung up behind the play, and the Cadets fans were looking for the penalty along with Matt Harrington.
And Boldman grabbed the stick of O'Brien, too.
Puck rolls up into the neutral zone, or into the slot area now to the neutral zone it goes. Williams bumps into his man, that's Herzog, back in behind the net. There's a stick right in the middle of the slot that Morton slides over to the right side of the rink, and it lies right there in the circle area. They're going to leave it there and let it be the obstacle.
Well, smart by Morton to move it out of the slot area.
Shimmick back in behind the net, cut off by the goaltender. Some refs like to pick the twigs up, others don't.
Yeah.
Vorlicki was just absolutely developed, wanted the penalty. Not going to get it. He and Herzog are chirping all the way up the ice.
And Vorlicki's now lobbying with the referee as well.
He had 2 conversations going on at once. Now it's McFadden. Cut off by Williams and played back into the corner. Vorlicki rings it hard for Shoemaker to the right wing side. He had a man coming hard on him and Shimmick. Now it's Jungles. Walks in, nice save by Jarvis. Kicks that aside with the right pad. Handled now by Vega as they'll play this one to the right wing side. It's going to be O'Neill. Williams. On it, O'Neill again, and the puck is back into the left side of the Edina net. 3 Cadet players around.
Oh, it's cross-check to Mason Nevers. He
Power
led with
play.
his stick.
Power play comes up now for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets.
Well, Pete, we've talked about this before. Edina is sometimes their own worst enemy. Now they're running a trail to the penalty box, and it's one of their primaries as far as Mason Evers, but he led with his stick. It was a blatant cross-check. These are the mental kind of things that Edina can't afford to do at this time, especially with St. Thomas playing as well as they have. Just 2 ticks under 6 minutes to go. Edina holding on to a 2-goal advantage, but now St. Thomas Academy back on the power play. Great opportunity for the Cadets.
So you have the TV timeout, too, which is really a benefit because now you can rest your ones if you're the Vanelli brothers, Tom and Greg, and they can get these guys rejuiced. And, boy, if they pump one home there's plenty of time. 5:58 to go, 5-3 in favor of Edina. Cruising after one, out shooting them 17-1, leading 3-0. Then it becomes 3-1, then 4-1 at the break, and here we sit at 5-3.
And St. Thomas on the power play as well, and they've really ramped up their game. They're gaining access to the Edina zone. Edina a little soft at the blue line, but they're kind of going into a shell mode, and that's really not what I would recommend for Edina. Just keep playing the way that you're playing, but don't take stick penalties. It's just that's been their Achilles heel virtually for the last 10 years that I remember, but tonight is just a glaring example of how detrimental it can be to your overall goal of getting to the state tournament championship game. But it's up to the Edina Hornets to pick up their teammate Mason Evers. He's done so much for this program and for this team this year, and he's definitely a pillar for the success for the Edina Hornets. Now it's up to his teammates to pick him up and get through this challenge. Loudon Hoke's going to have to make a big save, I believe, Pete.
Or 2 or 3. I mean, there's 6
Yeah.
minutes left of the hockey game.
Absolutely.
Rung hard around to the right wing side. Malmquist tried to get ahead of that one. Didn't. Here's a chance up high. Ooh. It was Hogue going one way, the puck going the other.
He looks a little busy right now, Pete.
McFadden now plays off to the left wing side. Christie shot. That hit someone, I believe, O'Neill on the way in. It's going to be Henry that has to regroup back at center. Now Christie comes away with it. This is a golden opportunity for the Cadets. They'll leave this one off to the line. Oh, they get away from one man. Here they come to the slot. That one misses the mark. Chorsky tries to muscle his way back up to the line. It goes. Now it's going to be Henry with it. His wrister hits a man in front. And now they'll play this one through the legs of Christie up to the line. Henry.
Oh, great
nice
effort by Chorsky.
Effort by Chorsky. He springs Malmquist on a breakaway against Jarvis. Backhand over the top of the goal. Now it's going to be back up ice for the Cadets. 1:07 to go on the power play. On the puck now it's O'Neill. O'Neill puts on the brakes and sends this one back into the corner. Turning away now is McFadden. Back up for O'Neill. Shows it one way, goes the other. Back into the corner. Forced that one through off the stick. Handled neatly there by Hogue. Now McFadden. O'Neill. Wrist shot. That one pushed wide of the mark. That one steered aside by Hogue off his stick and up into the neutral zone. 40 to go in the man advantage and 4:36 to go here in the third period. On it, it's going to be Henry as he's going to leave that one off. Ooh, and a nifty little move there from right to left by Bamer. Does it again. Now across the line. Watched by Vorlicki. Now it's going to be Williams with it. Puck rolls as he rings it hard around the rail. All the way back down. Jarvis waits for it. Finally gets there. Cuts it off and sets it up. In stride now. It's going to be Hallam with it. Ooh, he has nothing but ice. Hornets better slide over. He gets the line. Picked off by Jungles. He can fly. Here comes Jet Jungles in on goal. Forehand save by Jarvis. Took that one right off the stick. He's focused. Comes off the bench. Ice cold and gets the job done. They're taking them both.
Well, they should. To give somebody an unfair advantage on that one, or an advantage on that one, would have been unfair. I think it was the appropriate call, but boy, how about Jarvis coming in and stopping 2 breakaways on shorties against Malmquist and Jungles. Boy, that's a tough call to order, but he answered the bell on that one. But it's going to be Hallam, a very important player for this cadet team, and Jet Jungles for the Edina Hornets. So a couple primaries in the box.
They took them both. I don't know.
Well, they were locked up.
Yeah, it wasn't really a penalty either way.
They should have let them play, but if they're going to take one, they got to take them both or not make the call whatsoever. But they just got kind of locked up. It's not that they wanted to be, but they both went down on the ice, and the referee made the call.
If I had a side one way, I'd say Jungles wrapped his arm around him, and he'd be the one that that initiated the hold.
Well, we get the benefit of replay, though. That's kind of the thing where the referee, it
I
happens awful quick.
don't care about that. I'm just saying that Jungles held him,
Yeah.
and he started it, hooked him up, and they rolled down.
Well,
You know,
we
I would
can
have
agree
called
to
him.
disagree.
I love it, Bart.
You just poking the bear is what you're trying to do, P.Y.
No, I'm just saying. I'm calling it like I see it.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, he grabbed his stick and he did a barrel roll, and he took them both for a barrel roll. It's a good play by Jungles. How's that? We'll meet in the middle. 5-on-4 continues. Now it's 5-on-5. Sorry, with 3:38 to go. That one gets through the legs of Stucker.
Well, obviously time is of the essence, down by 2, 3:36 left in regulation time, and they do have one of their speedier forwards, sophomore forward Jackson Hallam, in the box, but the Vanellis have a lot of resources to draw from, but it's kind of go time for the St. Thomas cadet squad. They really have to get their feet to the fire and get more shots on goal. That's where it all starts, but in offensive zone faceoff, it's Chorsky who's had great success in the dots going against McFadden. Big faceoff for both teams.
You know, Wes Jarvis had Jungles bearing down on him with serious speed, and you know, Jet Jungles knows what to do with it.
Same with Malmquist as well, so 2 really big saves to keep it where it is.
Face-off win. Edina plays this one back in behind the net. Malmquist controls, looks out front. Christie to the line. Reiners keeps it with quick feet and quick hands. Nice job there. Chorsky, top of the left circle, sits on it. Ooh, inside out. He nearly made a little move. I mean, when you see a guy that big be that deft with his hands and quick with his feet, it's like, how can this be? It's quite impressive. I mean, can you imagine if he was a basketball player? Holy smokes.
I think he picked the right sport.
Stucker with it. Off the boards it goes. Now it's going to be handled by Boltman. Sent right back in. 2:50 to go in the third period. Vega was there. Now it's going to be another number 9, Colby, to the left wing corner for Edina. Vega turns it right up the slot out of his zone. Gets across center to the right wing side. Herzog was checked on the play. That one's off Nevers. Now it's Colby. He's stopped on the play. That one's pushed wide of the mark. 2:27 to go. Still a 2-goal lead for the Hornets. We'll keep our eye on Jarvis as we don't have to because he's out now as it's 6-on-5.
That's aggressive, but I like the play.
When you're down 2, you got to get
Absolutely.
going. Now Vorlicki plays that ahead for Shoemaker rather, gets his stick. I thought he got a stick on that, but nope.
Well, he's trying to lobby, but he's not going to get that call. It's going to come all the way down into the Edina zone. Might not be a bad idea for a timeout, perhaps coming up pretty quick for St. Thomas Academy, but get the ones out there, let them work their magic, and then call the timeout, but kind of a trying moment.
2:13, 5-3 the score. Face off to Hoag's right.
A lot of blue sweaters out on the ice in the offensive zone.
You've got 3 across the circle. You got 2, kind of 3 and a half moon up top. Now it's controlled. Bamer right side. Oh, ouch, how'd that feel?
Right on the
took
bone.
a bullet. Got real aggressive. Ooh, he hauled his man down. Stick save made. Nice job there by Hoag. Up to the right point it goes. Turning and shooting. Rebound. Oh, and they just missed the top of the net. 1:53 to go. Cadets pressing in the offensive zone. Knocked away from Christie by Malmquist as Christie's going to come away with it. Nice job to get away from him. Ooh, he leaves Delaney in the dust as he works it up the right wing side, but Chorsky bumps the wall, but no, it's going to be O'Neill. 1:37 to the high slot area they go. Delaney makes the play off the glass to center. They'll keep this group out. Chorsky will work his way to the bench. On comes Nevers for him, and it's going to be sent into the far right corner from the left side, or the left corner rather, from the right side by the Cadets. Puck rattles into their zone with 1:18 to go. 1:17 now after the whistle blows. 5-3. Wow.
Well, I'm sure that minute 17 is going to take forever if you're a Hornet faithful, but it's going to go awful quick if you're a Cadet fan. It'd be a good time for a timeout is what I'm thinking, but yeah, in fact, well, good call by the Vanellis. Just minute 17, though, at one final push. Just get everybody rested, get them refocused, and make that one final push to try to make it to the Saturday night game. But he got in a pretty good position finally.
Cadets take their timeout. They'll talk things over here. You know, now you get into the stage where you got to score pretty quick here because it's tough to put 2 together in a minute 17. Stranger things have happened, as we know, but It's difficult.
Well, one thing I think Edina's got to be aware of is they've been getting pretty aggressive as far as stick work, and perhaps Edina just has to stay out of the box. I mean, 6-on-5 is something that they can manage, but 6-on-4 might be a little bit different creature. But obviously the onus is on this Cadet team to punch one in, as you said early. If they can get one within the next 20 seconds, that'll give them a lot of hope, a lot of energy, maybe put Edina back on their heels a little bit. But Edina's pretty good in this situation, and they've been good in the dots, but the faceoff's going to come all the way down to Loudenhoeg's right. Shots on goal within 12 now, 34-22. So it shows that St. Thomas Academy is not going away anytime soon, but a lot of character on this Cadet squad. I just like the Cadets. It doesn't seem like they've really played the scoreboard much tonight. I mean, being down by 3, they were giving efforts.
You know, that's a really good point, Bart. They've pretty much, I mean, shoulders and body language may have been a little bit down. They were sort of overwhelmed in the first, but, I mean, I think we noted there, you noted in the second period they came out and they made something happen early. And
it's been 50-50, really.
It's been 50-50, absolutely, since the second period. Hornets rip it down the ice. That was Boltman, 1:05 to go now. We're going to bring it back into their zone. Face off to the right of Edina goalie Loudenhoeg.
Well, it's not an ideal play, but at least they get a chance to reset, get back into the dots, and perhaps win another face-off. But you don't want to tempt fate too many times. Reiners and Vorlicki, the defensive pair for the Edina Hornets. It's a good pair to have.
Takes the draw in against Herzog. That one's turned aside by Hogue. Jim Carroll calls it out 1 minute. They flip it toward the net. They're just going to keep icing it.
Well, they're getting close to the goal anyway, but they're having success in the face-off. So the next one should be about perfect. But again, the clock keeps ticking. Just 55 seconds left in regulation time. But I think it's going to have to be in the next 10-15 seconds. So this is a really important sequence for this Cadet team. It all starts with possession off the face-off.
McFadden goes in against Nevers. McFadden gets the draw. Jungles leaves the feet to try to slap it ahead. He's going to just collapse down.
Oh, my word.
A shiver to the back. Cross check and offside at the line.
Boy, that was a heavy cross check too, but I understand it because Jungles was on the puck and he was in no hurry to get up and put that puck back in play, but they took some liberties on him. But now the face-off outside the zone, 45 seconds left.
Now it's going to be Nevers again outside the zone. Cathedral and Greenway go at noon. Edina and or St. Thomas Academy EP at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Another state championship here from the XL Energy Center. 35 to go. Reiners will swat that off. Now it's going to be Malmquist to just tuck it in behind the net. 26 to go in the period. Cadets outlet to the left wing side as they'll try to race this one through center with speed. Poked off the stick. Vorlicki was there to make the play. Jungles off the boards. 14 to go in the period. Now Malmquist gets it at center. Big eyes, sees it, scores! And Edina goes up. Oh my word! And a wicked two-hander baseball style Bush League NHL. That's like 18 games for that.
Send him to the locker room.
Oh my
Don't send him to the penalty box. Send him to the locker room.
Yeah,
that's just bad
brutal,
sportsmanship.
Brutal. Herzog calls it. You know, usually don't say that, but you got to be better than that.
You are better than that.
Wow. Luckily, he caught him on some padding there, but that should be a major. Unbelievable. So Nevers comes together, stays on side. Every time the Hornets scored, they always had someone kind of bumping them.
Well, congratulations to
Hornets.
Hornets.
Yeah, they gave him a major. That's what it should have been.
Well, they should just send him to
the
locker room.
We're not overreacting here. That was just flat out cheap. You don't see that in high school hockey, a two-handed baseball swing right to the midsection like that. That's just absolutely brutal.
Well, St. Thomas Academy carries themselves with more class than that, and he's a solid player, so he's better than that, as you said, Pete Wagner. But out of emotion, frustration can come. But that's going to be it's kind of insignificant. It's going to be a hat trick for Malmquist, but that gets him to that 30-goal plateau, so a nice level for that young man.
Nevers also got a minor for cross-check, so he was part of that fracas, if you will. So there you go. Game is over. Edina moves on to the state championship game with a 6-3 win against the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, and they'll face off against who else but Eden Prairie for the 4th time this year. The Eagles 0-3 against Edina. Edina's had their way with them. Will things change tomorrow night here at the XL Energy Center on the big stage? Bart, that's the big question.
Well, you know what they say, it's hard to beat the same team 4 times in the season. Oh, wait, it was 3 times. But I'm sure it's a new and improved attitude from this Eden Prairie Eagles team. They're playing with confidence, and I don't think they have the little brother syndrome going on in this game tomorrow night. But it promises to be an outstanding contest. 2 teams very familiar with each other. They respect each other. That doesn't mean they like each other much.
Since 2009, Eden Prairie has 2 state titles. Edina has 3. They're right in the same mix there. Another late conference final. That'll probably bore much of the state, but hey, that's the way it is. The neighbors to the southwest once again prevail. And again, 2 MNHockey.tv clubs that we've covered extensively as part of our teams that we have in our stable. So Bart, that's going to do it here tonight. Thanks again to the Sportsman's Guide, RJM Construction Tradition Companies, Sportsman's Guide, of course, Brew Pub and mozzarella, lots of matzo pizza, and Optimal Goalie. For Bart Archer, Matt Harrington, I'm Pete Wagner. Good night, everybody.